What's going on, guys? We're here, we're live, and we're already fucking fighting behind the scenes. We don't even know. Geeks and Gamers, it's just fucking falling apart. The infighting, it's just too much to handle. Mark had to grab his dog. What do they call that? Like a
Mogwai.
No, not a Mogwai. Like one of those like those dogs that you sit next to.
Service animal?
Service animal, yeah. Or the people that like go lay next to the kids with cancer to make them feel better. Mark grabbed that dog to make himself feel better after the visceral fight that we had backstage. Mark, how are you doing?
You know, trying to control my rage, as always.
Why control it? Just let it fly. That's what I say.
Well, I got in trouble last time I did that.
Well, Mark is here with one of his dogs. Lethal Lightning, how are you?
I am enjoying this cold Sunday morning.
Oh yeah, I guess it's Sunday where you are. How cold is it?
Cold enough for me to put my robe on.
That's every morning.
It's every morning.
It's cold. Cold enough for me to bitch about it.
All right. Oh yeah, I've almost forgot Jeremy. Started reading super chats. Forgot Jeremy's here. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm hoping to watch you die on camera. That's my hope.
Many people have hoped that.
Look, we need another clip related to Geeks Gamers to go viral to offset the other one. You dying on camera would definitely help. So just let me know if you're planning on doing that.
I mean, my fucking soul died inside me. The last Geeks and Gamers stream that went viral. Everyone can see that. So might as well make the body the finale.
I'm doing good. I have some recorded Titanfall 2 gameplay I'm going to be uploading for our premium members, and then I'll probably later on upload it for, on Gaming with Geeks as well. So I am excited. Love Titanfall, one of the greatest games ever made. Still waiting for that Titanfall 3 announcement. It probably will never happen, but I will hold on to hope.
When's the last time I wore my Wolfenstein shirt?
Last week.
It just, you're always wearing black though. You're all, like, it's always a black shirt and then that gray beanie, which is why Schnick's profile picture never needs to change.
I have several gray beanies. But also, I don't know, I prefer wearing black shirts. I don't know.
There you go. Once you go black, you never go back. That's what I heard.
Not, no. See, look at my dog.
Don't you have a brown one too?
Yeah, she's blonde. Hold on,
no.
She's gonna get jumped on.
There you go.
No, Harley.
Don't
land on JoJo. There.
I was gonna make a really bad joke there. Jared Yelverton for $5. My channel, Patriots and Pop Culture, is launching soon, and it's because of great content like this that inspired me. I hope to host you guys one day.
Nice.
There you go. Congrats,
yeah,
Jared.
Congratulations. Keep grinding. It's not easy. You never know when you're gonna get that traction. So just stay the course, and we're really happy for you.
Yeah, I would have been more excited about your announcement if your next super chat for $5 hadn't been. Also, good luck, Ryan, with the sex change operation. You're really helping Jeremy's virtue signaling by becoming a he/she for his diversity quota. Thanks, Jared.
That's the idea. That's the idea. Ryan is definitely going to elevate us in the virtue signaling department. Feeling pretty good about that.
Sports Wars is just fucking dead now, so fuck Sports Wars. I got to do something else to show my worth around here. So yeah, we're going all in. Roger Haynes for Canadian. Thumbs up super sticker. Thank you. Diego Flores for Peruvian $5. Mark, they delayed humankind. The prophecy came to pass. Please, no more predictions, or you might kill us.
Humankind? Does anyone know what that is?
You do, obviously.
Apparently you do.
I guess I could look it up. I don't know.
Figure it out, Mark. You're supposed to know every game. It got delayed, Mark.
Space Monkey for $5 says Team No Balls for the win. Yeah, absolutely. Lethal, I got a question for you, Lethal. If you could just exist, you could still get hard. Like everything's the same, except you just wouldn't have to deal with your balls. Would you take that?
No.
Why?
I'm very attached to them.
I'd be fine with fucking not having them. That was a conversation we had on Friday Night Tights yesterday, which is where that super chat came from. At least I assume.
I don't know. I got to think about this more because it's a very serious topic and it's very near and dear to my heart. I think I'm keeping mine.
Somebody tagged me on Twitter and was like, I like they only have one ball because the other one got fucked up somehow, and they were like, "Trust me, you'll miss them when they're gone." It's like I have just a skinless sack, or like just an empty sack of skin, like where it used to be. It's like, oh god, these people are getting fucking serious.
No, thank you.
It's kind of insane.
It looks like it's like a Civilization type game, Humankind, like Grand Strategy.
Oh,
but Ryan, you'd miss your balls most because they would produce your testosterone, which builds your muscle. So,
well,
that's
so
what I was. Balls themselves; it's what they do. That's
what I was saying. If it didn't actually have any effect on you as like whatever, right? Then I would be willing to not have balls getting in the way. Every time I fucking sit on a bicycle or sit down or fucking move around, yeah, that'd be
I'm used to it at this point. Speaking of video games, though.
Speaking of video games. Why don't we talk about Ghost of Tsushima? Because not only does Ghost of Tsushima continue to impress in sales numbers, 6.5 million copies now sold. Very interesting. Every time we hit a milestone with Ghost of Tsushima and Sucker Punch, we get an update in sales, as opposed to Naughty Dog and The Last of Us 2, where we literally have not had an official announcement since that first 4 million number, those first couple days. Very interesting, Naughty Dog. It's almost like those weren't real sales, and the game has been a fucking failure. But Ghost of Tsushima, the real news is that we now have a movie in development, which I wasn't really expecting, kind of came out of nowhere, and it's from the director who did the John Wick movies. So, Mark, as someone who likes Ghost of Tsushima, as someone who I assume likes John Wick because you're a fucking man, what do you think about this?
I mean, I kind of have the same reaction I do when most video game movies get announced. I'm just like, all right. I mean, maybe it'll be good. It probably won't be. I could still just play the game, though. Like, I mean, especially like a game that has...
That's that cinematic. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's that cinematic. It has real actors in it. So, like, I mean, if, what's his name? Daisuke, I forget his last name. The guy who plays Jin doesn't get the role of Jin. What are we doing here? Like it's like, okay, there's no one better suited to play that part the way like fans want to see it, and they're probably gonna like cast Tom Holland and then call us racist. So like, I don't know, like I don't care. Like I mean, I think there's a lot of good samurai movies out there, and it might have been cool if they did like, I don't know, like a movie set in the Ghost of Tsushima universe, but like followed other characters. I guess we don't know that that's not what they're doing, but I think something like that created more color and lore to the things around the game would be more interesting than just being like, here's Jin Sakai's tale again. Although I'm pissed at Ghost of Tsushima right now because I booted it up yesterday to get some footage from my God of War video, and turns out that when I started a new game in order to get some of the Japanese voiceover dubbing thing for the Yakuza video I did, it like didn't save my it overwrote my like normal game, so I had to go to my last manual save, which was like 4 hours earlier, and I was like, oh shit. And so now I gotta like kind of retread ground in that game if I'm ever gonna finish it, and I feel like I'm just never gonna finish playing it.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
I don't think you could fit Jin's story in one movie. Like I brought it up just before of cutscenes. There's like 6.5 hours of just cutscenes in that game.
God.
Right? You couldn't fit all that into one movie. And if you do a Ghost of Tsushima movie on someone that's not Jin, then it's not the Ghost of Tsushima, is it? And the thing with Jin's story is there's like multiple layers to the main story. And if you take away even just one of them, it doesn't have the payoff, nor does it actually make sense right at the end. I don't know, man. The more I think about this movie, the more I just, it's a no from me. I'd rather just, because like Jeremy says, it's a very cinematic game. I could just watch the cutscenes on YouTube, or better yet, I could just play through it again.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I haven't played through Ghost of Tsushima, but, I mean, I know what type of game it is, and we've seen the history of video game movies, and they just don't, the people that are trying to produce these movies, these video game adaptations, they don't understand video games. They don't understand what makes video games great, and they're trying to make it into something that it's not. Generally speaking, there's just been very few successful video game movies for that reason, because the people that are making them don't understand why they're great. So this just doesn't sound like a good idea at all. It sounds like a complete and total disaster for a lot of different reasons. So I guess we'll just see. But it doesn't seem like anyone.
Fuck you all. I want to see it.
It's
I'm
being
down
done
for it.
because they're cashing in on the hype of that game because, like Ryan said, it just absolutely came out and just smashed everything. And Sony did say they want to start doing more adaptations. So I guess from that point of view, it makes sense to do that. But I think this would work so much better as an animated
TV
series,
Or
animated
an anime,
specifically.
yeah.
Because think about Ghost Stance, right? He
Yeah.
practically turns invisible and invincible and like moves at the speed of light. Something
You
like
fuckers
that.
just want another goddamn anime. That's all you fucking
You
want.
can't tell
I mean,
me that would
honestly,
not look
reject
fucking
Hollywood,
ridiculous in
embrace
live
anime
action.
at this point.
Tell me
Here's
that
like-
would not look ridiculous in live action.
No, but you guys are talking about like how you say this would need to be a very, very long movie, correct? In order to
At
get
least
the point.
4 hours and 2 minutes.
Well, well, that's the point about like with us moving more so into the streaming service stuff. I do think that does offer opportunities for longer movies now because there's no way the Snyder Cut would have been released theatrically at 4 hours. It just wouldn't happen because we know how that whole game works with, you need to get more people into theater, whatever. But with these move to streaming, it does open up the possibility of having, 4, possibly 5-hour movies at some point, if that's what it's going to take to get the creative vision across. I don't think a movie like this is going to be able to justify that. You still have to have some type of built-in fan base from the film perspective. So obviously people like Nolan and then Snyder working through his Snyder Cut, people that have that kind of following in a built-in universe, that would be something that would work out. I can't see a movie like this being able to be greenlit for 4 hours on a streaming service. Just can't see it, unfortunately.
I think that the issue is just as you were saying, Jeremy, that it's like people making the movies that don't understand video games. And I think the other problem is sometimes they'll get people who make the games involved who don't understand motion picture storytelling, like live action storytelling, be it movie or TV show. So what you get is this kind of middle ground between the two of them. And I don't think I've ever really seen, the only time I've ever really seen it done well is like the Castlevania anime, which is takes a series that has lore, but not a lot of in-game cinematic storytelling in any of them, with I guess the exception of Lords of Shadows, that's kind of a different canon anyways. But it's a very gameplay-focused game that has a lot of story around it. So the Netflix anime kind of tells that story, or at least a version of that story. And that's kind of cool, but I don't think these games that are like 90% of the way towards being live-action movies already really need to be adapted as their same stories into live action. I just don't really think it's necessary. That being said, if they do it well, like, I mean, if it does end up being good, I'd love to admit that I was wrong.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, I mean, I at the very least, I think with that director, if they give him the creative control, the budget, and the ability to do an R rating, it could have some really awesome action. And it's been a while since we've had like at least a Western samurai action movie been made. So, that could be kind of cool.
The bar is very low with the Sonic movie. The Sonic movie, if you just step back and just judge it as a movie, it's not really that great. But when you look at what happened and how they released that shit show of a trailer and everything and how everyone reacted, and they went out of their way to listen to the fans, there was a lot of forgiveness from a lot of people because we looked at it and said, all we want is for you to respect the source material in terms of how Sonic looks and acts. And so a lot of people watched that. So the bar is very low, and you do have the director of John Wick involved. So you can actually make the action look really awesome. So it is a low bar that has to be considered as well.
I think it should just stay a game.
Huh?
I think it should just stay as a game, in all honesty. But if it had to be done,
I don't mind it because like it does. Same with that fucking boring ass Tomb Raider movie. Does that Tomb Raider movie affect anything in the fucking games going forward? No. If this movie comes out and it's fucking dog shit, it doesn't matter. Ghost of Tsushima 2 is still in development. All these things.
I agree with that because like the Resident Evil movies, I fucking hate because I love the game so much, and it had no impact on the games at all. So I agree with that. I mean, go for it, try it. I mean, again, bringing up Resident Evil just frustrates me because it was such a great template for these what these movies could have been. And I don't know why you took it in the direction you took it. But even still, it doesn't have any effect on my love for the first couple of Resident Evils and Resident Evil 4.
There is a new Resident Evil coming out in September also.
Is it going to be
movie,
just?
like-
Is it going to be just as shitty as the rest of these movies? Because I gave up after.
Probably, but,
There's like, is it? But what my question is it actually?
It's Resident Evil 1, like with Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine. Apparently
That's
Claire
what I was
Redfield's
going to
in it as
ask.
well,
Or are they
but,
kind of starting over? Are they rebooting
yeah, no,
from the
it's,
ground up?
The Mila Jovovich movies are done, and now it's like a reboot. Who
Okay,
knows if it's
that's-
going to be good,
I don't believe it. Mila's going to be in there somewhere.
I don't think it's Paul W.S. Anderson making it, though. She'll be in Monster Hunter 2, I'd imagine, but
and I mean,
he's moved on to another Capcom franchise.
I've talked to people that enjoy those Resident Evil movies. People that never really played the games. So I mean, you have that aspect of it.
It's a way to branch out and like fucking. Some people have no idea what that is. Might get brought into your game. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're getting a shit ton of money just for the use of their IP. You know what I mean, to make this. So at the end of the day, I'm good with it. I think that I think that is a chance to be a fun movie. I don't think it's going to be near as deep as the game itself, but the idea that Ghost of Tsushima, a fucking nothing property, a new IP, kind of just took over and took the world by storm. And now we might see that movie before we see the HBO Max Last of Us series, which has been in production for fucking ever.
Well,
Which
if
would make
that's
me really
actually
happy.
shooting, then Ghost of Tsushima will probably be quite far behind that. Remember, the Uncharted movie
know.
was first announced like 15 years ago, and it still is like not out even this year. I think. I thought I heard something about them pushing it back, but oh wait, I had a point. Now I forget it. Oh shit!
I
never mind.
Malfunction.
I feel you on the Tomb Raider point you made with the last movie, which was basically the 2013 Tomb Raider condensed to almighty fuck. It basically was. But I don't think that would work as well with Ghost of Tsushima. Like, there's just, if you take away just one of the layers of Ghost of Tsushima, I feel it just doesn't, it's just nowhere near as impactful, nor makes as much sense. I mean, look at like, you got like the object of the game is to take out the Khan, we know all that, blah, 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 blah. But then on top of that, all the stuff that's going on with his uncle, all right? You take away the uncle stuff, the Khan stuff isn't as good.
Yeah. And it is.
How are you going to fiddle that?
What's his buddy's name?
All these allies, they all have their own stories as well, and they all end in a pretty satisfying way. And they all kind of intertwine with the main stuff that's going on as well and help Jin go down the path he's going. And if you take away just one of them, it's not as good, nor makes as much sense. I just don't see how you can fit all this in one movie.
I didn't remember what I was gonna say. Sorry. It's not them licensing. It's not them licensing out their IP. They have their own studio now called PlayStation Productions that's making the Ghost of Tsushima movie, the Uncharted movie, the Last of Us TV show, a Twisted Metal TV show, and apparently something to do with Sly Cooper. But my worry is that they might be pulling talent and resources away from Sucker Punch to have people on set for Ghost of Tsushima, the movie, the way Neil Druckmann's probably spending most of his time working on the Last of Us TV show, when they could be spending that money and manpower on making Ghost of Tsushima 2, making it well and in a timely manner. So there is a potential downside to this for people who just want more video game. I'm not saying that's for sure how it would happen, but it's Sony taking a risk making these movies with money that I think they should just be focusing on the games with and making the games bigger and better.
One thing I want to mention is the hijabi gamer has a wrench now, so don't piss her off.
She'll end you.
So she will end you. So shout out to the hijabi gamer. She's in the chat right now.
That's right. Shout out Neil Cuckman. I saw somebody put that in the chat. So shout out Neil Cuckman. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think one of the cooler things that did come out of the announcement was that by the way, we've sold 6.5 million. And of that 6.5 million copies, 3.25 million people have actually completed the entire game, which is a pretty big number when it comes to these open world games that can really get you can spend like 100 hours playing this shit before you even finish the story. So that 50% completion rate is pretty high. Obviously, people are still digging Ghost of Tsushima. The fact that it's still, depending on when you go in, it's still maybe full priced at a lot of different places tells you that game is just going to continue to sell very well over time. And looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima 2. Where did I leave off?
Speaking of video games, and again, thank you guys for being here. We got 800 people watching. Great to see all of you here. Thank you for all the support. These streams continue to, get longer every week because people are supporting. Ryan is on his deathbed, but he's here. So you guys make sure to not compliment him in the least.
I have played Subverse.
The ladies' man will not stop talking about Subverse. So, Mark, why don't you give us your brief first impressions of Subverse?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
tell
was
us about the
shocked.
sex
I was seriously
I want to
shocked
hear
at how
about
good
Tim
it was.
Pool's. I want to hear about Tim Pool's porn game.
Yeah, Tim Pool's porn game is actually honestly pretty good. It I'm not just saying that because of the sex scenes in it. Although I have seen 2 sex scenes, they are incredibly graphic and definitely would make this not a great game to play on the Gaming Geeks and Gamers Twitch because it would get pulled down like that. It's very graphic sex. This is not a game for children, but it's also like a bullet hell shooter, kind of like the flight stuff in Nier Automata Lethal, where.
Yeah.
Like it's got like power moves and like 2 types of dashes, one that does damage and one that just makes it so that you can't shoot. There were a couple sequences, some boss fights. I was like, wow, this is like actually a pretty good game. And then the second kind of mission is like a turn-based kind of grid strategy RPG. And I was just like, wow, it was like this game has like a few different types of gameplay. The visuals are like pretty fantastic and it's super polished. Like this game must have made so much money on Kickstarter because this random little porn game that they like put on Kickstarter it has like AAA production values. Like I was actually very impressed with it. Definitely not the kind of game you'd want to buy for your kids or have available for family sharing though, because it's like triple X porn tier sex in it. It's not like Witcher or Mass Effect. It's what probably the people who bought those games for the sex scenes wishes were in Witcher and Mass Effect.
I can confirm that there is currently no sex scenes on YouTube.
Yeah, I'd imagine they would have a lot of trouble making that fly. It would get taken down almost instantly.
So it let's see, it made 1,668,626 pounds.
Holy
so
shit.
1.67 million pounds, which is probably equivalent about $2 million.
$2 million, yeah.
Yeah,
That's and you can see it
quite a
like
bit, but
like for an early access indie game, it is super polished. Like they did a pretty good job on it, and it looks like they spent that money on the game, not just I don't know.
We need Titanfall 3. We need Titanfall 3.
Honestly, the writing's really funny too. Like
we need Titanfall 3 instead of bullshit like this. That's what we need.
Make Titanfall 3 a sex RPG, and maybe people will kickstart
fuck that. You know what? It probably would have made a hell of a lot more money, unfortunately, which is bullshit.
Jack Cooper, will you please blow me?
what is it? Hades. I bought Hades on Steam. I think I might play that on Twitch soon.
Hades is really good.
Yeah, people. Everyone has said it's really fucking good. So
my God of War video ends with a recommendation to play Hades.
Well, I'll wait for that to release then to make it look like I was listening to you, Mark.
There you go.
Oh my God, I found some of it.
The sex scenes?
Yeah.
Well, was I underselling it, or is it as graphic as I sold it to be?
Oh, this is straight up pornography.
Yeah, like it's.
All right, a happy black man for $2. I believe that's a picture of Drake smiling. Hail the chat, hail the fandom, and hail Geeks and Gamers. Thank you, a happy black man. Wheezy for 5. Lindsay Ellis got canceled off her Twitter after saying Raya and the Last Dragon is an Avatar, the Last Airbender ripoff. Lol. Yeah, I saw Lindsay Ellis deleted her Twitter or something because of the fucking people coming at her. And they were bringing up old shit, calling her racist, calling her sexist, all this stuff that always happens. Whenever they just start going after someone, they sense blood in the water. They're like, this is a good time to point out that Lindsay Ellis is a racist homophobe, like that kind of shit.
Yep.
I was just starting to like her after she absolutely wrecked Movie Bob.
Yeah. You dare hey for 5. Here's to a ballsy stream, except for Ryan, who only likes the shaft. Thank you, you dare hey. The Hijabi Gamer for 5. We know the truth. IMDb didn't mention me. Jeremy doesn't produce my channel. I caught Leia on a call with Buster.
Yeah. Why didn't they have me as a producer of the Hijabi Gamer? That's weird.
You know what? I think this entire IMDb situation, that like for those of you, for you fucking idiots out there, for you fucking stupid people who read a Screen Rant article or make a video because they're like someone's listed on IMDb, you're fucking stupid. Literally anyone could go in and change that shit at any time they want. So please, can we stop listening to the scoopers who are like, wow, this person got put on the list, on the cast list on IMDb, must mean it's real. Shut the fuck up. Doesn't confirm your stupid.
I want Ryan listed as a producer of The Last Jedi.
That's not going to happen. Dave, the Titty Slayer, for $10. Here, have some of my disability check. Well, there you go.
Thank you.
That portion will go to Mark. So thank you very much, Dave, the Titty Slayer. Black and white news for $20. Stuck on a huge bridge with traffic and construction, trying to get home to put the show on my 75-inch TV. I'm running late. That's from John Matrix. What's up, John? Make sure you guys subscribe to Black and White News, Black and White Sports. All the stuff those guys do over there is awesome. Thank you, John. Wheezy-Bird for $5. Also, did y'all see the Steam banned Super Seducer 3 from being sold there, so you can only buy the game on Game Planet?
Nope. I'm sure Mark. Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
I sorry, I was taking a sip of my coffee. Yeah, I heard that it's like a pickup artist game. I think I don't know too much about it, but I think it someone reported it for being like, I don't know, inappropriate or I don't know, but you know, it was people take games down for reasons, and I guess whatever is in this game, they were able to convince Steam that it went against their TOS. So I'd have to look into it to really comment on it further, because I don't want to end up defending something that's like legit horrible. It sucks though when things get pulled down. I kind of wish that everything would just be able to be sold, and then it could either succeed or fail on its own merits. Or
yeah. Roger H for, you changed your name. It used to be Roger Haynes. Now it's Roger H for Canadian $2, a hot dog emoji, and then the screaming Ryan emoji. Makes it look like that clip we found of the Iris West scene yesterday. Yeah, so thank you, Roger. Kevin Meets for $5. Not sure how you feel about him. Ben Shapiro gave a very positive review for Justice League Snyder Cut. Believe it or not, he's also a defender of Batman v Superman. I actually did watch a little bit about this. Yeah, he dug it. So that was cool. Blue-Eyed Scorpio for $2. Geode is greater than Kate Kane and Ryan Wilder. Hashtag rock beats scissors. That's pretty good, Blue-Eyed Scorpio.
That is good. That is good. Shockingly enough, I actually liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. Shockingly enough, that's a big deal considering I hate the previous two movies. I didn't like it the first time I watched it, and then I was like, let me watch it again and just not just watch it from a judgmental standpoint, because clearly this movie
they primed
is
the pump for us to not like.
Well, I was never going, like, I was always going to be negative on the movie regardless if he fucking said what he said or not. Like, I just don't like these fucking movies. But I noticed, like, man, I was like, everybody seems to love it, even people that didn't like the previous movies. You know, it's definitely gotten a really positive reception. So I did watch it again, and look, it's nothing I really want to see more of, but I enjoyed it for what it was. And I definitely think that there's a legitimate momentum for why this universe should continue, and WB are fucking morons if they don't, which they probably won't. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, and speaking of video games, 6 Days in Fallujah. We talked about this a little about a month ago when it was announced that 6 Days in Fallujah was kind of making a comeback after a long time being on the shelf. After Outrage, ironically, what seemed to be a lot of people, a little more conservative, didn't think that these things should be happening because a lot of family members of military people that might have been involved in those, they had a problem with the potential of that movie that game becoming a reality. Well, now it's back, and it is outrage from the complete opposite side. Now you have people in game development, people of all sorts trying to get this game canceled, which is only amping it up even more. It is only going to be more successful because these people are trying to cancel it. I saw Colin Moriarty was doing, he's had a bunch of tweets about it.
He's going to war over this game.
He is, ironically, including one where he called out a Gotham Knights developer for trying to get the game canceled. And of course,
The Gotham Knights developer who started a change.org petition to get the game canceled.
Yeah, these people. This is when you have activists who pose as game journalists. I never had any interest in this game, not even the least bit interest in this game. It doesn't look great, but now I want to play it. All because of this. These people are stupid. They just make things more successful. Everything they try to hurt, they end up helping. These activists they are nothing more than people that are trying to be fake offended over anything and everything that they possibly can find. It's so ridiculous.
It's why I bought Kingdom Come Deliverance. I still haven't really got around to playing it. Fired it up and it was buggy as hell, so I was like, hey, I don't know. I don't have the patience for this right now. Maybe they fixed it. It's been like a couple years now.
Yeah,
but, I don't think 6 Days in Fallujah looks good at all.
I agree.
Like
it looks dated.
The AI looks horrendously bad.
Horrible.
For what's supposed to be a tactical shooter.
You know what it looks like? It looks like it was a game that started being made like a decade ago. That's what it looks like, or like fucking 8 years ago, because that's basically what it was. And now they're just bringing it back.
This game would have come out, and it would have just completely flown way under the radar. No one would have. It wouldn't have been a big deal. And now, because of these activists being fake offended, now it's probably going to be far more successful than it has any business being. All because of these weirdos.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, even I'm considering buying it, and I honestly think it looks like trash. Like, I don't think I would care about the game at all if it just came out.
I will buy it with knowing that it will cause some SJW tears. Now, I will buy it on every fucking platform possible just to make them fucking cry. Look, I did this, like, anytime people just want to be fake offended over something, like, it makes me just want to support that thing, because it's just...
Streisand effect, too. They're calling tons of attention to this game that it wouldn't otherwise have got. Like, it's a war shooter. That is not a new thing. It's not even a modern warfare shooter is not even a new concept. Recently, we've had 2 Call of Duty games that, for all intents and purposes, have been set in, like, modern-ish day. I mean, yeah, Cold War was, like, the 80s, but realistically, the style of gameplay is not too different from a modern day shooter. And like, I mean, where are the people losing their shit over you being in South America and killing people in Cuba in Cold War? Like, is that really any worse or better than operations in Iraq? I mean, it's war, guys. Like, people die. It sucks. It's horrible. And in video games, it can be explored in either some tasteless ways or some interesting ways. But ultimately, if you think something's going to be way worse than anything else, just let it come out and then see how it does. Protest against it if it's out, you've played it, and it actually is very horrible. But otherwise, just let it fail, because it doesn't look good. It looks like a very cheap game that I think they had a really good excuse for why they're doing procedurally generated buildings, to be like, yeah, because it'll simulate being a soldier on an operation and not knowing what the layout of the house is going to be. So every time you play it, it's going to be different. And that sounded like a good marketing line, but ultimately it means we don't really want to design levels. So we have a procedural generator that's just going to make levels for us every time. There you go, selling point. Yay. But usually that means the levels look like they were designed by an AI algorithm, not by people specifically designing a level, right?
Lethal.
I pretty much agree with Mark. I think the game looks terrible.
Why do you think there's all the outrage? Do you even know what's going on with it?
Yeah, because people are stupid. Like, where was this outrage during all those World War II games that showed the bombing of Nagasaki?
I think Lethal's bigger problem here is, where was the outrage for Frank Woods? Because that's what he wanted to outrage over. But
character, we should get a petition to get him out of everything. Worst Call of Duty character ever created. But having said that, Pride Month is around the corner, so I can understand they're going to be promoting him quite a bit.
I think that they should petition to get Frank Woods in every Call of Duty game, regardless of the era.
I thought maybe they was trying to rag on him, but now thinking about it, we don't know anything in canon that Frank Woods is not gay. So I mean,
he's gay as fuck. Go through all the games.
Hey, I mean, as an old man in Black Ops 2, he doesn't mention anything about a wife. He doesn't have a kid. Mason does, but you know.
That's because he's got PTSD. He's all fucked up, Mark. No one will stay with him.
Gay people can get PTSD too, Ryan.
I don't know, but the chat's turned on Lethal now. He's going after Frank.
You know I'm right. You all know I'm fucking right. Think about it. Bandana.
At the end of the day, I do think that when they first came out with 6 Days in Fallujah, I think that may have been a little too quick to make a game based on something like an event that was like still currently fucking going on. And obviously there still is
movies at the time.
I know, but I do think that like a movie telling a story about it and like you being there is a little different. I wouldn't have got upset about it, but I think from a PR standpoint, from everything, I can get that there's a lot of people that are still going to feel very passionately about everything that's going on. But at some point, like you said, okay, are you allowed to make a game set in World War II but not address all the ancillary things that went on with it? Is that okay? Yes, of course it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Same with the Vietnam War, same with the Korean War and all this shit. So they've taken a game that would have just flown under the radar, probably not done shit, and now they're making it a massive deal. Now we're going to make videos about it. Now we're probably going to buy it just to fucking own these losers.
Yep.
So they've done it to themselves.
Yeah, and they deserve it. They deserve to be miserable. I mean, not that they weren't going to be miserable. These people live to be offended. They literally look for things to be offended over, and it's not a surprise at all.
Yeah. Whenever Anita Sarkeesian's upset about it, you probably want to be for that thing. That's basically what I've found out in life. I think that's usually a good standard.
Yep.
Whatever she says, I do the opposite.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stanza or whatever.
All right, let's get back to some of these super chats, and I will also get the Streamlabs guys. I don't know if there's any there, but
there is.
Okay, Jared Yelverton for 5. Brian gets shit because Jeremy isn't faded by it. I mean, phased. I don't want Mark taking a breather, and it's too early in the morning for lethal. Process of elimination, bro. Oh, thank you, Jared.
I see Trillium here in the chat with a super chat. Thank you,
Trillium.
Trillium's awesome. You guys definitely go check her out. She is great. Had our back through all of this nonsense lately, and she's awesome.
Anyone that does gardening gets big points from me.
Yeah, I've seen Lethal's dumbass fucking plants, but it is true. Like watching Trillium, it's a nice break from Jeremy and my videos. You might be like, boy, how the fuck did I end up here? But yeah, she's really nice and really very sweet. So shout out Trillium. Says,
yeah.
Hey guys, just dropping in to say hi. Keep doing what you're doing. Later. All right, thanks for being
great. Here. Yeah, if you guys, it's definitely not a Ryan Jeremy like bitching about SJW's channel. it's the polar opposite. She's great.
Mark, what are you showing me?
I figured while we were reading the super chats, we could throw up some Subverse gameplay. It's not what you thought it was going to be, was it?
No, where's the porn?
Obviously, I wasn't going to play a clip with porn, although I checked the clip that I captured first to make sure there wasn't porn, and this one has no porn. So even if we watch the whole thing, we're good.
Be careful, yes. Okay.
Why the fuck would I want to watch this then?
Well, the main character, this guy, is sort of a Deadpool-like character who is Australian. And don't worry.
I get it. We're all sexual deviants. Well, you're kind of right.
Apparently, yes.
All right. Weezybird. Weezybird for $2 says IGN posted that SpongeBob is getting canceled.
Good.
Like
I hate that
TV
fucking
show?
SpongeBob.
I've never watched SpongeBob, so
Is SpongeBob still on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought SpongeBob ended ages ago.
No, it's
probably like The Simpsons, where just
they have like a spin-off.
You kind of just stop watching it at a certain point, and then like 15 years later, you find out that it's had 15 more seasons since, and you're like,
there's going to be a Patrick show.
No fucking way.
I've never watched it, so I don't know much about it.
The Scottish Nerd for £5. Jeremy, the pitch is for a Karen Kinnell cooking and relationship channel for you to produce. Karen Kinnell can also talk about the WNBA.
Somebody needs to talk about the WNBA.
I'm not for that.
We're going to single-handedly, we're going to revive the WNBA. Just like Mahler and Rags have saved Batwoman, we're going to save the WNBA.
I only care about Batwoman because of EFAP.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to get canceled because I want them to keep making their EFAP minis on it.
I've seen people in the chat talk about my hair. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my hair. I fucking went to sleep last night. I woke up and it looks weird. It's like... I don't understand what's going on. Dave, the Titty Slayer for $20. G&G plus D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons?
That's what D&D is, yes.
Okay.
Mark, they
I've
even have,
never-
they
yeah,
have,
I've never played it.
wheelchairs for characters now in D&D.
Not in Baldur's Gate 3, they don't.
That's true.
And apparently, it was a pretty big deal.
Diego Flores for Peruvian 10. Mark, lethal opinions in the U.S. Justice Department might put the brakes on Sony's acquisition of Crunchyroll due to monopoly reasons. Jeremy,
maybe.
Jeremy, we must do a fundraiser and buy Crunchyroll for Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, the super chat was still going. Sorry. Yeah, no, I would think that buying an anime streaming company would be a good move for us if we can afford it. But I don't think we will. But I don't know. I don't really like the idea of Funimation and Crunchyroll being owned by the same people. Because
we talked about this last night. Rakeda talked about it. He obviously has a lot of knowledge on that topic. I didn't know a lot about it, but it is a pretty interesting situation with what's going on with that. By the way, the ladies are dropping the Discord link to Geeks and Gamers Discord. So if you guys have not joined, please go do that. That's a way to stay in contact with us in our little corner of the internet. But I mean, all I can say is I started watching Attack on Titan. I love the show, and now I'm learning that there's a lot of things that have, especially with season 4. I mean, the animation and all of that, which is very jarring if you kind of go through that show as quickly as I have. You get to season 4, and the animation change is just, it is a big change. It takes a while to process everything with some of the characters, and they fucked Mikasa up, and it pisses me off. But overall, that was all into, I guess this studio was right. Like Ivan explained it to me the other day, but there's so many things that goes along with the anime and this whole Crunchyroll and Funimation thing. I'm learning a lot. We're going to get Ryan into it. Don't worry.
That ain't happening.
I think if we start
Ryan's going to get on Gundam. I got him.
Gundam's that's pretty deep and long, though. I think you should give him something that's
Look at the bookshelf behind him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if it's something that's Star Wars, he's interested in it. If it's something he's not interested in, I think you need to give him something that's like one season,
Gundam,
one and done, and like
Me.
complete. I think Death Note's like the best starter anime.
Nah, I got Ryan.
36 episodes and it's over, and then like you can see what you think from there.
So before this goes way off the tracks, because it will with anime, we do have a brand new anime show for geeksandgamers.com premium. Ivan put out the pilot episode, and then he's going to start the first official episode this week. It's going to be him and Krista, and then eventually you're going to see Lethal on there, Mark, Andrew, other people are going to be joining in, and eventually we will get Ryan on there. And don't forget, at 1,000 premium members, Ryan will be playing Animal Crossing, and it's going to be glorious.
Nintendo's going to be out of business by then. Math isn't my best subject for 5. I think the movie should be an interquel. Everyone knows the first game, so they could set up the second game. Doesn't have to retread the first game.
I think the problem is they think that this is going to be viewed by normies who don't care about Ghost of Tsushima. And I think that they may be right, but I don't know. I think that it's mostly just going to be people that play the game that are going to be super excited about it, and then they're going to watch the same story they've seen before and be like, all right, and that'll be the end of it. But again, prove me wrong, Chad. What's the guy's name? Chad Stahelski, yeah. Prove me wrong, Chad Stahelski. I want you to make a good film.
I just want to see Jin chop people's fucking heads off.
Yeah, oh god, if Sony makes them make it PG, that's gonna suck so much.
Oh, I didn't even fucking think of that.
No way, they wouldn't do that, would they?
They wouldn't try to be able to market it to the same audience as the MCU with their I don't know, man.
They wouldn't bring. They're not going to bring in the John Wick director to fucking make like a non-fucking super violent movie.
I agree with that.
That makes no sense.
Again, maybe. But I don't know. I'm only like, again, Sony. This is the studio that was behind the Amazing Spider-Man films and Ghostbusters 2016, guys. Remember?
Yeah.
Like still, Sony Pictures recently does not have a very good track record at all.
I agree with what Mark's saying, but at the end of the day, it is a violent game, and you have a director who's makes violent movies, action movies. So Again,
I very much respect that the John Wick films are all rated R. I love that they didn't like try to make 2 and 3 PG because of the success of the first one. But I don't know, with PlayStation behind it, I'm not sure. I would probably put a bit of money on it being PG-13. As much as I don't want that to be the case, I think it's probably the most likely scenario. Although if theaters are, it's rated M, but they don't care because they will always try to market movies to the largest possible audiences. They know M-rated games sell because their test cases are Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. That's the reason why you will never hear any game developer or game publisher be like, we have to make this game rated T, because most of the best-selling games in existence are rated R or rated M. Movies are not the same deal though. Movies like R-rated movies hardly ever make money. It's like Deadpool and Joker are the only ones that ever did.
The Passion of Christ.
Oh well, okay, yes.
You better
just because the director makes violent movies doesn't mean he has to do it constantly. I mean, George Miller made Happy Feet.
Yeah,
I don't understand the reason why you would go out and get him. Like if that wasn't the point. But yeah, you're right. It could just all of a sudden be changed into a fucking musical or something. I don't know what they're gonna do. But I think the idea of Ghost of Tsushima going out there with their combat and hiring the director from John Wick, I think they're probably gonna lean into the violence. But I guess we'll see. Mike Hill for 5. Super Mario Bros. Movie was crap, but it had no effect on the games.
That's true.
That's true. The TV show was terrible as well. Blue-Eyed Scorpio for $5. Have you guys touched on how Sony has stopped production on things to catch up on PS5? I can't find a PS4 controller in a 30-mile radius. Colorado.
I did not know that.
I think they should be putting all their eggs in the PS5 basket when it comes to like production. Like, I mean, the stock problems for both PS5 and Xbox Series X, and even honestly the new NVIDIA and AMD GPUs, is kind of disastrous in a lot of ways. So I think that their efforts should be focused on solving those stock issues, and if that means that they have to like make it slightly harder to get a PS4 controller, then them's the breaks. I mean, I'm willing to bet you can get a used PS4 controller at like GameStop pretty easily if you absolutely need one.
Yeah, I mean, I do think. I mean, look, the PS5 clearly needs more production. You got to put your resources, towards the future. So I understand the frustration, but
and to make you buy a PS5, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Controller for your PS4. I guess you're gonna have to upgrade. You can buy. Does a PlayStation 5 controller work on a PS4?
Nope.
Actually, it might.
I don't think it does.
I thought it did.
The PS4 controller doesn't work on the PS5, but
I'm pretty sure PS5 works, but no haptic feedback.
Well, obviously, when I've haptic, the games wouldn't support.
I remember trying to hook up because I got the PS5 controller before I actually got the PS5, and so I remember trying to play it on there, and it did not work. I don't think, unless I just wasn't doing something.
It says you can't. You cannot use a DualSense PS5 controller on PS4.
Which is so weird.
So dumb. But
you
that's
could definitely
typical.
Use a PS4 controller on PS3, though. I remember actually I played Arkham Origins with the PS4 controller because that was the last game I played on PS3.
The PS4 controller is so much better than the PS3 controller. Yeah, PS3 is just the PS2 controller.
Believe me, I had to use the PS3 controller to play 5 games within the last month because most of the God of War games are on PS3, and that thing feels like a kid's toy in comparison to every other controller I own.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like cheap and light, and it's like, oh god.
So the PS5 controller works on the PS3, but not the PS4.
It's so weird.
That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Maybe the PS4 might be the issue then. The PS5's a standard USB format that can be easily read. I knew because that's probably why you were able to use PS4 controllers on PS3 as well. But I don't know. Maybe PS4's got some weird protection software on it, but.
Joe Musashi for 5. The only Resident Evil movies that matter are the CGI ones. Looking forward to Infinite Darkness, not the new live action one. I'm sure it will be bad.
The CGI ones are really cheesy too, but there's some good stuff in there. I would say speaking of John Wick, actually, the Leon and Chris fighting a hallway full of zombies fight is awesome because it's Chris fighting like the Punisher and Leon fighting like John Wick, and it's really good. It's one of those scenes that you can watch on YouTube. And
so what is this? What is this Resident Evil movie that's in production, or when is it coming out?
It's coming out in September 3rd, I want to say, because I saw a thing about the release dates.
Where at?
I think if theaters exist, then theaters. Actually, wait, it might actually be Netflix. I might be remembering that wrong. I think I heard something about
It is a Netflix one, isn't it? I thought it was Netflix too.
Hold on, I got it right here. It's set in 1998. The director is
People are
Johannes
saying
Roberts.
Netflix in the chat, so I'm looking forward to this potentially if they're rebooting completely.
It seems like all the characters are from both Resident Evil 1 and 2. So it's like, I don't know, they're going to try to mix both of those stories.
Yeah,
strange.
Netflix.
2 and
Netflix.
3 you could mix together, but 1 and 2 take place like a couple months apart. I don't know.
I don't know either. Joel Reese for 149 super sticker. It's a little popcorn sticker. Thank you. Dan Larkin for 2. Pretty sure Sony Pictures has its own budget.
Sony Pictures, but what about the PlayStation Productions vertical? I'm willing to bet that's probably. Honestly, I think all of Sony at this point is kind of being propped up by PlayStation. They don't really have anything else that's making money.
TVs.
Maybe their TVs, but are their TVs even really doing that well?
They're fucking expensive as fuck. I know that shit.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're doing well. It might mean that they need to keep them expensive in order to make any money on them.
Jared Yelverton becomes a channel member. Thank you, Jared. Then Shiny FX for £2. Mark, why are you talking about sex?
It's probably when I was talking about Subverse. And, it's because I was talking about a game that I'll say it is art, and you're a bigot if you don't like it.
I can support that.
Jared Yelverton, another 5, says, just became a member to Geeks and Gamers and RK Outpost. Thank you, Jared. See, Ryan, I do care. Hashtag just the shaft. Hashtag no balls. Thank you. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate it. Bashi Washi for 5. Hail panel and chat. At Jeremy, dude, remove the Chrono Cross from the background. You're making me want to go play it again. Much love and respect to all.
One of the best games ever.
You got Castlevania back there, too?
Yep. But I wouldn't. I don't play it on that type of TV. Play it on a CRT. So I always want to say CTR after Crash Team Racing. But either way, play it on the TV that Tugs has in her videos.
Oh God, yeah, that thing that'll fall over and fucking kill her someday.
That thing's weigh like 1,000 pounds.
I know it.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
like
it.
The one that's in your fucking grandma's house, like you cannot move it. It will not physically be moved, and it's likely surrounded by an enormous wooden frame because it needs to be like a 200-pound frame to support the 500-pound TV.
Yeah. One of my first military courses, we like 4 of us brought like 27-inch CRT TVs up in our Xboxes so that we could all bring them into one room and have 16-player Halo.
Hey, if you have not played Chrono Cross, just go watch the opening sequence on YouTube. You'll be sold, and you'll want to play the hell. First. So, absolutely, of course. But you'll be sold after you watch that opening sequence. It's so good. Music is on point. It's a classic.
Yeah. And speaking of video games, Lethal has been playing a lot of Nier Automata over on Twitch, and there's something going on with that. It's been review bombed on Steam several years after its release. Can you guys explain for us what's going on?
Yeah, so basically the game came out to what's it called? Xbox, their Game Pass.
Yeah,
it came out on Game Pass, and it's like perfect, like runs flawlessly. Meanwhile, over on Steam, where the game's been out for years.
Since the PS4 version launched.
Since the PS4 version launched. Apparently, it runs like absolute dog shit. Mark was saying before that they need mods to actually run the game.
Yeah, the community fixed it, but Square Enix hasn't touched it.
Yeah, there hasn't been a single update this whole time. So when the game came out on Game Pass, everyone on Steam took their frustration and decided to negatively review the game. So this game has received the majority of its negative reviews in its 4-year span. It got them in the past week to try and get Square Enix's attention. And I honestly hope it works. I hope they can get this game up and running because I'm absolutely in love with this game. All my friends played it like day one. They told me to get on it. It just ended up in my backlog. And now like every other game's being delayed. So I've just been playing this and it is fucking a beautiful game, man. It's so good.
So I played a lot of the Steam version as well. Like I'm at most of the way towards Route B, so I'm actually probably not too far away from where you are. I just got kind of thrown off by other videos I was making. I actually have like a half-written Nier Automata script for a video, which I may finish one day. But in order to play it on a PC, even a good PC, it doesn't really matter how powerful your PC is because it's the code in the Steam version that's kind of fucked. You have to download a mod called FAR, FAR, Fix Automata Resolution. Otherwise, the resolution is really weird. The frame rate gets all fucked up. It screen tears like crazy. However, if you do apply that mod, and there's some pretty decent high-res texture mods as well that you can put on, it does look really good. So if you did buy the Steam version, you're not totally screwed. You just gotta do a little digging and mod it. But at this point, it's far cheaper to just like sign up for Game Pass for a month and play it, because that version, it apparently looks like the fixed version that you can play on Steam with mods. So I guess for whatever reason, Platinum Games or Square Enix or whoever's just putting that game up on Game Pass, like it might just be the guy that had to upload the file to the Game Pass servers, just like applied the FAR mod or something, or made his own thing and fixed the game. So the good news is there's a really solid version of Nier Automata that you can play right out of the box on PC, but it's Game Pass, not Steam.
Ugh. So apparently, like, it crashes and shit for people on Steam. Like, it was full, like, how Cyberpunk was for me, just unplayable.
It wasn't unplayable. It was just, it looked weird, and it would have screen tearing and frame drops. I think it's still, though, that the cinematics are like capped at 30 frames a second for some reason, but I don't know. But with the
that would be
mod
heaps jarring. Going from like 60 frames gameplay to
that, it is. But as I said, the FAR mod helps quite a lot. So you're not totally screwed if you bought it on Steam. But I mean, I guess like the thing we should probably talk about though is review bombing and whether or not that's like a good thing, because I sort of think it is. As much as like I love Nier Automata and I don't want people seeing that. Is it at mostly negative now?
Yeah.
For the
so
recent, holy shit.
Yeah. So overall, for the
It's still
existence
very
of the
positive.
game for 4 years, yeah, very positive. 83% have been positive, but in the last 30 days, it has been absolutely bombed. 32% in the last 30 days are positive.
Wow.
So they're really coming after it because people are upset because obviously there's a good PC version right fucking there, yet people are spending $40 on this.
And
have been for a long time.
Here's why I think that user reviews and the ability for people to do this is actually kind of a good thing, because every single person writing one of those reviews has played the game for at least an hour. So it's not people that have never played the Steam version specifically for at least an hour.
Yeah. This
so
isn't like Metacritic or something.
Yeah, so like these people own this game, or else you're not allowed to write a Steam review. And I believe actually it has to be, maybe it might be over 2 hours, because I think you can't write a review if you could then return it. If on their reviews they say, hey, just go play this game on Game Pass instead, then those reviews I think will perfectly serve their function, or it'll call Square Enix's attention over it to just fix this version of the game. So as much as people will say, oh, like review bombing's horrible, it's like it's people whining, they're just being entitled. It's like, I don't know, like if there's a reason for review bombing that they could but hey, I guess it's this because see, there you go.
Yeah, look at Mark's picture.
Does it say how many hours I played on it? What? That's just a picture of me.
There he is. Look.
On average, I complete 23% of the games that I buy.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, actually.
Well,
that
is really,
and
that
also
is pretty good.
There are a lot of games, especially on Steam, that I'll fire up to get like a little bit of footage on and then never touch again because I just needed some reference on it, and I happen to have it on like 100% or something. But yeah, I kind of forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so that's the last few games I played. Everybody. I do Cruelty think Squad 2 because I'm based.
I do think review bombing is an overall positive thing. Obviously, it gets painted as a toxic thing, but ultimately, if you have enough people that are upset and passionate about something, and they're going to take it out on review bombing, that means you, as a developer or as a company, you need to recognize the issue and address it. It's ultimately, it gives people a voice. Again, if people are angry about something, whether you agree or disagree with it, it's nice to know that that is out there and it's being expressed, because without the knowledge of the problem, you can't address it. This gives you an opportunity to address it if you want. Now, we see this with movies like The Last Jedi or Captain Marvel or something like that, where they just take the opportunity to say, oh no, everyone that's saying this is racist and sexist and they hate women. But that's just not the reality of it. The reality of it is you made a shitty movie and you failed to recognize it. So therefore you trash the fans for having their opinion. In this situation, it's giving the developer an opportunity to hear that fans are upset. So review bombing is definitely something that I am in support of. It has made it to where once upon a time on the internet, you could actually look at the feedback for movies and video games and kind of go, oh, okay, this movie has a 82% here or whatever. And it kind of meant something. It doesn't mean as much as it used to. Like, you can't take that number at face value. There's full context that has to go with every single number you see on the internet. And that's just how it has to be. But I support it. I support it.
Mark, you've played 35 hours.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised it's that high because I'm still not through the second campaign on PC. I did play the entire game on PS4 though. I actually even had.
You've played 309 hours of Monster Hunter World.
I actually thought it was 350. Oh shit, I'm slacking.
309.
I've been telling people 350 for the last couple of weeks. I guess I remembered wrong. But
Look at how much Dark Souls you've played.
So fucking good. I love Monster
those
Hunter.
are those all my like most played games? Like,
Yeah, it's from the top. Yeah, so,
all right, so if anyone's doubting
60.
about me like playing difficult video games, those are the games I've played the most.
How many hours have you put?
You just left on the menu the whole
How many
time.
hours? You've put 300 hours into Monster Hunter World?
Yeah.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Wow.
309, 160 into Sekiro, 132 to Neo, Witcher, 122 hours. Where's
game's taken a while.
Cyberpunk at?
I have Cyberpunk on GOG.
I know, I'm just kidding. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
Can't believe I put more time into 2 than 3. I fucking hate 2.
Yaku, you played this one recently.
Yeah, it was a pretty long game.
Doom Eternal, only 52 hours, but 17 of those have been the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I played Ancient Gods 1 and 2.
Doom Eternal's so good.
Yeah, there you go. Interesting. We can go and really looking to see what Mark's doing. Very interested now. I'm gonna look at these all the time, so I know exactly how much Mark's playing.
Well, I mean, it's like I'm Mark the Cyborg on Steam. If anyone's like doubting whether or not I've put time into a game I'm covering, you can check.
Hijabi Gamer says I have 4,000 hours in each Destiny game. Damn.
Hey, good. Mark only has 1 hour on Destiny 2.
I think I've got about 1,500 hours in Destiny 1. Like there was on PlayStation 4.
Oh, console peasant.
Well, Destiny 1's not on PC, Ryan, so that would be very difficult for me to play it there.
I think you should take a stand and just not played it on a console and just waited.
Back then, I wasn't playing on PC.
Well, what happened to Principles? What happened to Principles, Mark?
My principle changed when I started playing on PC and then admitted that it's better than playing on console. And then pretty much stopped playing on consoles unless I absolutely need to.
I want to play. I want me and Ryan and Mark to play some Tiger Woods golf together.
Oh,
just for the hell of it.
I have not played a golf game in probably about 15 years, so I don't think I'd be very good.
Beat the shit out of you.
The last time I played one was before it was Tiger Woods, I believe.
I feel like basically the only like games that we could go up against Mark in, like if we were playing on PC, effectively are sports games. That would be about it.
Yeah,
I mean, true. If you guys learn how to play with a mouse and keyboard, you could probably take me on. I'm not that good.
No, controller.
Why would I do that when I own this? Why would I do that?
Because it's better. It's more accurate. You can do more complex things.
I hate those mouse and keyboard pussies. All right. Where are we? Master Eden says the jig is up. Jeremy's the mastermind behind it all. Lol, just kidding. Have you guys played any Mario parties lately?
No. Unfortunately, the most recent Mario Party is a big letdown.
I thought Mario Party was dumb when I was like,
yeah, I was going to say,
fuck that. No, dude, fuck that, dude. Mario Party back in the day was fucking awesome.
Is it because you were 7?
No, it's because Mario Party is awesome, and it's so disappointing that Nintendo hasn't capitalized off of that with the online multiplayer aspect, because those games created the same type of division and friendships as Mario Kart and Smash Bros do. Mario Party, I want to say, was it 3 or 4? Somebody just said 4 in the chat. Yeah, I think it was 4. That one was amazing. But the most recent Mario Party for Switch is trash. So
yeah, and all the other ones are too.
You're objectively fucking wrong.
I just did
Mario Parties are fucking awesome.
There's Mario Party on 64, right? Or is it GameCube?
Yeah,
right,
the first one was 64.
I think I'm thinking of the GameCube one, probably thinking of like where I was. But my buddies and me used to get together. We used to play fucking Mario Kart. We used to play Super Smash Brothers. I fucking hated Mario Party. I just never liked it, even though we played those other ones. So.
Yeah, I think every time I was ever at a party where it's like, hey, yeah, let's play Mario Party, it was not 15 minutes before it's like, let's just go back to Smash Brothers.
Yes, exactly.
Mario Party was fucking badass.
And this is when we're drunk too, so it's not like it's not like we were not at all in the mood to like just kick back and have fun. It would always just be like, no, this game.
Super Mario Strikers. We need a new Super Mario Strikers.
Was that soccer?
The soccer one. I don't think
Geeky Pixie for $5. I find it funny how other game developers are the ones trying to get a game canceled. It only brings more attention to the ones no one knew about. That's right.
Yep.
That's right, Geeky Pixie. Milo Sorian for €5. Greetings from South France. Greetings, Milo.
Beautiful.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Pebbles
Wolfpack
on the beach instead of sand, but still pretty place.
Wolfpack for $5. Combat Vet was mad the first time the right complained. Now, because of cancel culture, I would contribute to revamp it to current graphic standards. Thank you, Wolfpack.
The visuals are okay, and it doesn't look like a very good game to me.
God, it fucking jumped on me, stupid motherfuckers. All right, Mickey D's for $2. Ryan, you playing Resident Evil 8? Thoughts on Invincible, guys? I'm not a big Resident Evil person. I probably won't. I know Mark and Lethal will probably play the hell out of it.
I'm casual, but I'll play it.
5 is where I lost interest, and I know it's gotten better. People have told me it was so. 1 was just incredible back in the day. It hasn't aged well, just the mechanics of the game, but the atmosphere is unbelievable. But I loved 2 and 3 were fine, but I was starting to get tired of it. 4 kind of revamped everything, and 4 is still one of my favorite games of all time. And then 5 moved to more of an action kind of feel and less about the horror feel. But then, so I lost interest after 5. But what did you say? Which 7. One? Yeah, 7's the one you told me I should play.
7's the scariest one by a lot, I would say.
Okay. Is it better than 4?
It's different. It's like it's much more of a horror game. Like,
okay.
4, I would say, is like 5 is more of an action game, but while it's really good, Resident Evil 4 is still much more an action game than it is a horror game.
Resident Evil 4 was really the one where they switched to kind of make it not
shoot.
It traditionally
was. It was about aiming your gun. Essentially, was the big thing with Resident Evil 4, which I loved. I think Resident Evil 4 still holds up quite well. The controls are a little rough if you go back to them now, but it's still a great game. 5 plays quite well, actually. It's just it's very much an action game. It's like the Call of Duty Resident Evil. 6 just totally went off the rails, but 7 is just a horror game. Like it's the one that will actually scare you. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to Resident Evil 8. Both X-Ray Girl and I are super excited to have Lady Dimitrescu step on us. And Invincible. Invincible is Robert Kirkman's other comic that he did other than Walking Dead. I've read every single one of the books, and it's incredible. And I heard Amazon just started an animated series on it.
They dropped the first 3 episodes yesterday.
Yeah, it's I haven't seen it, but I would really love to watch it because I love Invincible. I think Invincible's awesome.
Cool.
I guess you haven't seen the Resident Evil leaks, have you?
For Resident Evil 8?
Yeah.
I guess not. No, I played that PS5 demo.
Oh, we watched. That's the one we watched, right, Lethal?
Yeah.
Like
we know everything, like how it ends, and like all the leaks are out there. So be careful.
I mean, does it look like a good story to you then, or not that Resident Evil necessarily needs to be
context,
like a well-written story, but
context is going to be important.
Chris got his head caved in the golf club.
Oh yeah, so they're doing the 2020 move then.
Heath Nation for $10. I will try to purchase this game just to give Anita Sarkeesian the middle finger, tell her to eat my groin. Also, where were these people when Spec Ops: The Line had that phosphorus scene?
Well, Spec Ops: The Line was developed by Greg Kasavin, who was a former games journalist, so that one got a pass. But Spec Ops: The Line is really good, though. You should play that. And that guy currently works for the company that makes Hades. Yeah, don't harass Anita Sarkeesian, please. Like, leave her alone.
How come they didn't push this hard? They pushed a little bit on the last Modern Warfare, like the 2019 one, where there was the
Phosphorus.
the American phosphorus attack, and they changed it to Russia. But they rewrote the history a little bit, and there was that little bit of pushback, but they gave up on it pretty easy. But they're pretty fucking salty on this one.
No. You're mixing up two things. It wasn't the phosphorus attacks. It was the highway.
The highway, yeah.
Yeah, and that was an American ambush, and they made it so that it was like the
Russia.
Russians instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I that did kick up some controversy. I think it's a bit overblown because ultimately I think it's just a historical event inspiring a fictional thing. So I don't know. People get too up in arms about that stuff because ultimately I honestly think that people kicking up a shitstorm about it called more people's attention towards it. So like, I mean,
That's all they ever do.
Yeah. Like,
The
what do you
Fallujah
want?
stuff is a little different because it is very much supposed to be like make you feel like you are one of those people. Like they have these people that were involved in it come in there and like tell their stories and are like helping to talk about the game. So it's very much like real circumstances, which I think makes this one. I think more people are up in arms because of that.
Yeah, well, I guess it's presenting itself as historical as opposed to fictional.
Well,
But I mean, that's my point about defending Call of Duty is it's like, look, it's a fictional story. It's just inspired by true events, whatever. It's also inspired by a scene from 13 hours, and Zero Dark 30.
You're applying logic in a situation that doesn't.
It's all I can do, Jeremy.
No, I know that. I'm just saying these people don't think about that. All they know is they are programmed to be offended over it. Therefore, they're told, hey, you have to be offended over it. Let's be offended over it. It doesn't matter. None of the context matters. These people are fucking nuts. So we just have to make things successful that they want to complain and cry about.
But it's totally cool to fucking do Modern Warfare 2, walk into an airport and slaughter everyone.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously. That was awesome.
Just to clarify, I was saying don't harass Anita Sarkeesian because it only gives her ammo.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I just made a face.
I saw you scrunch up your face, but I didn't want to cut off Jeremy.
Well, I was going to say I want to do a quick little promo. I'm going to upload the full video for our premium members. So this is the end of the match right here. I recorded myself playing Titanfall 2. As you can see, the score, we're down by 1 point. So watch me whoop some ass.
Seeing Titanfall at 30 frames a second bothers me.
I ordered a new capture card. 4K. Watch. For the win right here. Fuck them.
Which capture card do you have now?
Get him! Yes! Nice! Boom, baby! That's what's up! Fuck you! And who was tops on the leaderboard? You know who was tops on the leaderboard. Let me find it right there. Not too bad. That was fun. If I can. Who was tops on the leaderboard? That's right, motherfuckers. Now, I won't play with the Geeks Gamers team because they all kind of suck. None of them.
I like how you played. I like how you played.
Play on PC, you coward. I won't suck so much if I could use a mouse and keyboard.
I like how you were playing with like an entire squad, like of people. They were all like ADV or whatever the fuck their tag was.
No, that's the automatic network you get put into. Is by default. You can't leave it. So yeah,
it's not like a gamer tag that they're all using. A clan tag.
It's the automatic network you get thrown into. You can't leave it. But yeah, man, Titanfall 2 is like one of the best games ever in my opinion, and I'll be live streaming that this Tuesday because normally the girls stream happens on Tuesday, but Chris is not available, so I'm gonna just stream Titanfall 2. Anybody on the team's able to join if they want. I really don't want them there because they're all gonna suck and they're just gonna
play it on Steam.
They're just gonna hold me back. They're just gonna hold me back.
Jeremy, play it on Steam and I'll be there. You can play it on Steam with a controller. Like, I don't know why you're like, oh no, I'm not playing it there. Why? Because you can't use your unlocks. You need all the good gear.
Only if I
Plug
can play
that-
with a controller.
Plug that controller into your computer, and you can.
You
Steam
told me I
supports-
can't play with a controller.
What? When?
You told me that. I'm just fucking with you, Mark.
That is the face of a seriously angry man.
There's not enough whiskey in this.
How much is there?
0. That's why it's not enough.
No, I was gonna say I'd have some respect for you if there was some.
Yeah, I have the Elgato HD. I think I have the is it S60?
Yeah, the USB one. You can record at 60 FPS in that. You just have to change it in the settings.
Well, it did record in it, so I don't. And I
Probably
processed
is it just
it in
because
60.
you're probably just because I'm seeing it through StreamYard. Then I don't know if the video on your because you were having issues.
But
with
even
the frame rate
even
on
like
your
but
end,
even if
too.
you look at like the capture card that Theory uses, like is unbelievably good. So I went ahead and ordered that capture card.
Which one is it?
because I'm not. It's an Elgato. It's
the
4K. Yeah.
4K
Mhm.
60 HDR-M2. Yeah, that's
Yes.
the one I have too. It's,
Yeah.
that's how I capped the PS5 games.
Mm-hmm. So that will be for premium members over on geeksgamers.com. I'll upload that full video, and then I might make it public at some point for everyone. But then also I'll be streaming that on Tuesday.
That's right. Sven said for 20 Danish kronas, Battlefield Vietnam was awesome. Get some.
Actually,
there
I
a
never played Battlefield Vietnam. Yeah, it was pre Battlefield 3, so I
it
don't
was
think
a
there was
while
a
ago.
console version of it. It was PC only, but yeah, I think it was just like a mod for I want to say Battlefield 2. It might have been for 1942, but it had a pretty big following. I never played it, so I can't really speak to it.
Maddie, Rebel A King Queen. Thank you, Maddie, for £5. Oh no, just switched on Star Wars Squadrons, and they have added a new Kio's flight suit that is low-key the non-binary flag colors, for fuck's sake. Sly move, Star Wars.
There's
Really?
a non-binary flag?
I know there's a transgender flag.
Transgender flag and a pride flag. I didn't know there was a non-binary one.
Hey, there is no park hopping stream today, everybody. For everyone asking, there's no park hopping stream today.
So you're not going to cover the 9 out of 10 that IGN gave to the Nintendo Land after saying that the rides are good but not incredible?
Hey, it's
about
not
the
about
atmosphere.
rides. Yeah,
It's just the best that's in their wrap up at the end. It's like the rides are good if not incredible. 9 out of 10. It's like, well,
I think that's
okay.
fair though, because the theming is almost as important as
That
the rides.
even theme parks get a Nintendo bump. Yes, it's fair.
Well, I mean, what's wrong with that? I don't understand what the problem is. If it's honoring Nintendo the right way, unlike Galaxy's Edge, because I'll tell you right now, if Galaxy's Edge had literally the same rides but a better atmosphere, then it's objectively a better theme
I
park.
don't know. I'm not a theme park reviewer. I can't really objectively.
But that's my point, though.
Why are you
Like, if you-
criticizing their review then, Mark? If you're
Because
if you're not
it's
invested
funny-
in something, you
it's-
can't criticize it.
Because it's funny to read a synopsis that says the rides are good but not incredible right beside a score that's a 9 out of 10.
But that's
Like,
the
I mean,
point.
come on. It's almost a 7.8 out of 10 too much water.
Like if you
Like,
if you look at Pandora, the land of Avatar, at Animal Kingdom, and it does have one incredible ride,
Jeremy,
probably one
I
of the best
haven't
rides
looked
ever.
at any theme park
my
since I
point-
was like
listen,
11.
I'm trying to make a point of how you judge theme parks. I'm not a fan of Avatar, the movie. I've seen it one time. But you go to that park, and it is one of the most incredible experiences ever because of the theming, because of the how immersed you are. So
Harry
it
Potter
fundamentally,
land.
yeah, exactly. Harry Potter is another thing. Like the
Those
rides
are
at
not
Harry,
good. Yeah.
the rides at Harry Potter or whatever, but the world just being in that environment is fucking incredible. So that is part of it. The rides are not the most important thing. They're a complement. If you get the theming right and if you get the atmosphere right, it fundamentally changes your entire experience. So that's the whole point behind if they gave it a 9 out of 10. And of course, I haven't been there. I've seen pictures, but based on what I've seen, it's got that Harry Potter element of the theming is a game changer. And again, that's why Galaxy's Edge fails so bad, because it does not feel like Star Wars in the least. Even though some of the rides are decent, the theming is fucking shit. So therefore, it's objectively a bad theme park experience.
All right, and that could just be my experience with theme parks, but usually I like going to theme parks, going on the rides. I hate standing around in lines, so I don't care how nice the lines are.
What is the name of it? The name is called a theme park. It's called a theme park.
Okay, cool. I'm not an expert on those. I don't know what you want me to say.
It's not the local county fair.
Like I said, the last time I went to one was probably like 11 years ago. And that's any theme park. It's not like a movie themed one or something like that. And chances are the only one I've been to anytime recently at all was Canada's Wonderland, which is like in close-ish to the city I live in. But yeah, I don't know. It's I would just go run right to the best rides early in the morning, so there wasn't much of a line. Get on the rides and then go home. I didn't give a shit about what was going on like around the park. But that's why I don't do anything on the theme park channel. I don't.
King Jaffe Jaffer, ruler of Zamuda, for Canadian 279. Who let the Rye Dog out the kennel? Not sure. Thank you for the super chat, though. It's hilarious.
Somebody said Jeremy is producing Ryan's hair.
I don't know what's going on. I took a shower last night before bed.
Really fucking liar.
No, I took a shower last night, and that's why it's so fucked up, because I went to bed when it's still wet. So like, I even put shit in it today, and I can't do anything to keep it down. It's just fucking. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Oh shit!
Have you ever seen that movie? There's Something About Mary.
Yeah, you stole that from the chat. I saw that comment earlier.
No, fuck. I don't look at. No, I did not.
Brian was playing Subverse right before the stream.
I fucking didn't.
Yeah, that wasn't a hard enough denial. Old Greg for $20. I was in Fallujah during that entire time, and I was there to take it initially. Novel to see a game that lets others see what kind to see kind of what it was like. Canceling it would be ridiculous. I can live it, but someone can't play it. There you go. Thank you, Old Greg, from someone who is at Fallujah. That's his opinion on it. So I think that's what.
I'm a big Mighty Boosh fan.
Oh.
Love me? Could you learn to love me?
You ever drank Baileys from a shoe before?
The Nickerman. Oh, I gotta be careful pronouncing that one. For $5. Ryan has that Megan Rapinoe haircut. No, you know what? Megan Rapinoe has that haircut because she's trying to look like a dude. So that's what's going on. Miss Martin Muses for $1 super sticker with a little rose. Thank you, Teresa. King Jaffe Jaffer, ruler of Zamuda, for Canadian $3.99. Can I use my Sega controller for PS5?
Mark,
I mean, I guess if you had an adapter that could. Oh, for PS5, definitely not. Sorry, I was processed that as could you use like a Dreamcast controller on PC.
It was a joke, and Mark took it super seriously.
Don't ask me questions if you don't expect me to try to answer them. But I misunderstood the question. That's why
I love Mark. Mark's
Jordan
amazing.
Kornak for $5. You have to have the PS5 controller wired on PS4 to play. Like it said, when I looked it up, it said no, you can't. So
I tried. Sure, I tried when I first got my PS5 controller, and it wouldn't work for me. So.
Cold Whispers for 10. Nier is a really great game. Beat it a few months ago for the PS4. The story gets crazy and quite creative. Really want to play the other two. Also, Jeremy, love the background.
Thank you.
He means the background, but it was the background.
Yes, I learned my lesson. Ryan often brings it up. My background that I changed, that I got absolutely. All I can think of when Chris. You guys review bombed me on that, and I listened. Okay, that's essentially what happened. I got review bombed on that background change, and we changed that back up real quick. So.
Yeah,
it was fucking awful.
It was pretty bad.
I always thought like, he probably took all this time to set it up and put it all together, and just all the comments are just, I fucking hate it.
He immediately bent the knee to the mob and switched it back. It was like a Mr. Potato Head moment. That was Jeremy's Mr. Potato Head moment. Nord Timmy for 50 Danish krones. I've noticed the amount of premium members on GNG has gone up lately, so I wonder if this is translated to the merch sales.
Yeah, we've gotten a bump across the board from everything. So it's rising tide lifts all ships. So it's like, I mean, we have seen a bump across the board, but premium membership is the foundation of everything right now. Once that app is done, and again, we're months and months away from that. We're still working on it. It's costing a lot of money, a lot of time. We want to make sure it's right. But once that's done, that's going to kind of change things up. But that's why we want you to join our Discord right now, because if you are a premium member and you're part of our Discord, we can actually add you to the premium member Discord, and that's where you can get notifications for our upcoming content and things like that. But yeah, everything has been, going in a positive direction for Geeks and Gamers. We obviously have been through a lot the last few weeks. We took a couple of, we got out of it with a few scratches, but we're good. We're moving forward, and we've learned a lot from that entire process. But yeah, we've seen nothing but positive results overall.
Yep.
Positive results. Look at Ryan.
There's something positive. King Jaffe Rule of Zamuda. I'm not saying the whole name again. Canadian 279. Who'd win in a fight, Zamunda or Wakanda?
Sounds pretty one-sided to me, man. They could just buy Wakanda.
Yeah.
There you go. The Jobby Gamers is best.
I don't know.
Ryan's fuck Naughty Dog shirt. That's Ryan and Jobby Gamers.
I don't even know if I could answer that one. Although I'm looking for the background to show everybody. I'm looking for a video. How long ago did I do that shit? It's back when I was actually posting videos on D-Day Cobra.
King Jaffe for another 279 says, I place my bets on Zamunda. I bet you do. I'd say Wakanda. They have fucking magic vibranium shit.
Yeah, if it's MCU Wakanda, I think it's almost ridiculous that Thanos was able to overtake them. That stuff can do anything, the vibranium.
To Tim for $2. The final boss in Ancient God 2 is disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially just a marauder, but with more powers. I like, it was a tense fight on Ultraviolence at least, but it wasn't super creative. It was just a stronger marauder, basically.
Mickey D's for 2. Jeremy should make a Jeremy All Along parody song.
For all
Jeremy All Along. Yeah.
For all my producer credits.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about it. It wasn't Agatha though. It was just Wanda all along. Agatha hardly did anything.
It was a terrible
The worst
show
thing she did
along.
was kill Sparky.
That
was actually her most evil move.
Fucking garbage ass fucking show. Mikey Gusler for 5. So Techland announces that Dying Light 2 is still releasing this year, and we're gonna get info soon. What do you guys expect and want?
I hope it's good. Like, I mean, Dying Light 1 was really solid. So, the only thing that makes me worried is that it's the development on this one seems to have been a bit troubled. So, I don't know. The last time a Polish studio was like, "Don't worry, it's coming out this year," it backfired in some pretty major ways. So,
There we go.
Oh God. The pause is perfect.
I wonder what the audio is like though, because I imagine there'd be like zero echo. Unless, do you have a big empty room in front of you now?
No.
It basically, like, whatever, like, see the setup he's got right now, he's just flipped around.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's basically 180 degrees rotated.
Yeah, no, your audio would probably be better like this, because then you're speaking into the acoustic tiles.
Yes. Yeah, because they're still up. They're still over there.
Yeah, that's good. That's
a reminder of your failure.
Mexican was a failure.
Mexican Iron Man for $20. What's up, Mexican Iron Man? Says coming soon. Fact Blast 2.0. Play the great game. Defeat NPCs threatening fearless leader Jeremy. Enjoy the 80s game music and beat the game by becoming producer of every YouTube channel. One channel per level. Hail Geeks and Gamers.
That is awesome.
Bad idea.
That's a pretty good idea right there. We are in the early stages of development for the next Geeks and Gamers video game. I know there are people out there that claim that we don't do anything, we don't produce anything, and well, that's just a lie, and you don't pay attention to anything we're doing. But we are producing the next Geeks and Gamers video game. Still trying to work it all out in terms of what direction we're going to move it into, but we're excited. And I don't know what the next steps will be. We have so many things going on to the point where I'm probably going to have to dial certain aspects back because there's just so much shit going on right now. We got to focus on the things that, need to move us forward. But that's definitely going to be something we're going to be moving into in the next month or two for sure.
That's right.
That's a good one, though, Mexican Iron Man. That's a good one.
Pleb Gamer, Aaron G for Filipino 125. Not really sure about Sony since they'll probably try to do a woke take on Ghost of Tsushima.
It'll
Possibly,
all depend on who's behind the movie, like who's writing it. Writing probably most importantly.
Yeah.
Like the director's gonna direct it, but if he's directing a bad script, it'll just be a terrible story with good action. Hopefully.
Heath Nation for 5. Mark, do you remember when they had the Madrid train bombing scene in Medal of Honor Warfighter?
I actually never played Medal of Honor Warfighter. That was the second of the Medal of Honor reboot where they tried to make it more like Call of Duty.
I never got into it.
No,
I tried the first one. And didn't do it.
I think like the guys from Linkin Park did the soundtrack to that one. I remember seeing a trailer being like, "Oh, that's strange."
To Tim for $5. Get Castle Crashers on Steam. It's only $3 and it's great with friends.
Castle Crashers is good. It's like a 4-player kind of hack and slash beat 'em up.
Nice. Mr. Olympian for $20. Thank you, Mr. Olympian. Appreciate it. Doesn't say anything, but we appreciate the support, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me.
You got Streamlab donations. I know. Well, I know. Go ahead and get into that. I know we're going to talk about 1950s World War II COD, which I think is a fucking not a good idea at all. I personally think, as we move into that discussion, I think COD needs to stop being annualized. I really do.
Yeah,
like it needs to. It never needed to be annualized, but now it's getting to a point where these fucking games are so successful. Modern Warfare 2019 is the most successful Call of Duty in terms of sales ever, which shocks me. If you go back to the Black Ops days, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, I'm blown away that Modern Warfare 2019 is that big. But what was it? So Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare 2019 were like the first and second best-selling games of the year, right? Like this past year. Like it's just crazy. And Modern Warfare, look, I like Black Ops Cold War. Modern Warfare is a better game, but I do enjoy Black Ops Cold War too. But why? Why are you making another one at this point? The whole integration with Warzone. I just think annualizing these games, you're just rushing. You're just putting something out to put it out at this point. And having Sledgehammer back involved does not make me excited at all.
But when you look at the numbers, why would they stop?
No, I agree completely. Why would you stop when they're pushing these type of numbers? I totally understand that. But I do feel like them forcing this stuff out, I think is going to have a negative effect on them in the long run because they are too successful to keep pushing out annualized titles because again, it's not about to me, it seems like it's just about getting the game out and not complementing this. Like you have such an opportunity. Warzone is what's changed everything to me.
Yeah.
Warzone is the game changer. If Warzone's not there, I say, fuck it. You just annualize it like you always have because it's clearly worked for you. I have no issue with that. But Warzone is the thing that has changed Call of Duty, in my opinion. And that is what is creating this problem with these annualized titles now. Now, I could be wrong in terms of that, but because I don't play Warzone as much as somebody like Lethal. But to me, has the integration from Cold War, putting that into Warzone, has that had any negative effects for you for people in terms of? See, that's where the problem with the annualized stuff is now.
It was rough as fuck when it first came in. Everything was broken. Attachments weren't working the way they were supposed to. I was impressed that it didn't completely break everything because I was a bit skeptical on it, but it could have been done a hell of a lot better. But the thing with Warzone is it's always going to be there. Like this is like their ground zero now. Like, yes, we're getting the new map because this one's about to get blown up in the nuke event and all that stuff. But every year they're going to add a new Call of Duty and they're going to keep integrating more and more into Warzone. So Warzone is just going to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And all these other games are just kind of funneling into that. So it's just a win-win-win across the board for them. So they're never going to stop.
No, and again, it's not so much like, again, if it works, it works. But to me, it just seems like it's not going to work if they keep going at this pace. Like it seems like
why not?
Well, because again, I think so. You look at the momentum you've had with Modern Warfare 2019, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. this moved from like going back to World War II. Like the last Call of Duty World War II did not do well in terms of just it didn't rejuvenate the fan base. People just gave up on that game really quickly. You've got so much positive momentum with what you've been doing. I just don't see how this World War II game is going to help them move forward. I could be wrong.
Because
But
they'll take the operators and the guns and just put it in Warzone.
yeah.
So the more they do, the better for them in their eyes.
I think they're in a position where the choice was either go back to World War II, but obviously don't make it just another one of COD World War II, because I mean that isn't really even that old, or go into the future. And I think because Infinite Warfare was so poorly received because otherwise, like, what are you going to do if you make another one in modern day? Then you're going to really be eating into Infinite Warfare's audience. If you put one in like the 60s, 70s, or 80s, all of that's going to feel like Cold War. So the 50s is the next on deck if you start moving backwards. But I don't know. I agree with Jeremy on it. I don't think that annualizing Call of Duty with Warzone being what it is a good idea. I think that they should focus on making the purchasable content in Warzone better. And maybe do things like have a campaign that you can buy for like a pretty reasonable price that comes out once a year. And so that you'll still get that like $30, $40 sale from all the same people that want to buy every Call of Duty game, but you'll stop splitting your audience. And then in 5 years, or when like PlayStation 6 comes out, something like that, you can release a brand new Call of Duty game that actually feels different. Like Infinite Warfare, or sorry, not Infinite, Modern Warfare 2 by Infinity Ward, that like will follow up that one and make people feel like it's actually worthwhile. But I don't know. They're going to do what they're going to do, though.
Yeah, they're just going to keep doing it. Like, I think that the idea of this alternate universe, we've talked a lot, obviously, earlier when it came to, Fallujah. When it came to Fallujah, it was, talking about taking these real-life events and how you tell these stories. Well, the other side of it is when you take an event like that and are trying to say, well, what if the war didn't end and it went on continuing in the 1950s? Now, what may be the commentary alongside of it? That's kind of what I'm thinking with this. How are they going to play in this kind of alternate universe, and what kind of stands may they be taking, and who are they going to say to the villains or the people who were in the right in this whole scenario? That's what I see happening a lot in this World War II 1950s Call of Duty that is leaked. That seems to be a pretty reliable leak, right? Everyone's basically going with that assumption that is true, correct?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, look, and ultimately, I mean, there's only the only time I really have not liked Call of Duty, like really not liked it, was the futuristic stuff. I mean, I even enjoyed Ghosts to an extent, you know what I mean? And that was where that's where it started trending down, though, was Ghosts, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess we'll see, but so we have Sledgehammer, we have Treyarch, and we have Infinity Ward, right? That's our three developers.
Sledgehammer's lost its two key people, so the Sledgehammer that's making this one is not the Sledgehammer that's made the last few. It's not the guys who led Visceral Games. Honestly, my biggest issue with it is, like, I mean, I'm wearing my shirt again today. We have a Wolfenstein already. Like, Wolfenstein is the alternate history World War II.
Yeah.
Or at least the new Wolfenstein games
and that's
are.
like, I see people saying, like, that's what we've been told this movie or this game is going to be. It's like a universe where the war didn't end in 1945. It continued on. And that's what this game is supposedly about. An Elseworlds tale. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, and someone mentioned this in the chat, so that's why I got to thinking about it. Technically, I guess you can say that Call of Duty games are 3 years apart if you're saying like the Infinity Ward is every 3 years. You know what I mean? That is a good perspective, because the branding of Call of Duty is what really elevates these. But in reality, it's not the same game every time. It's just the branding of the Call of Duty. So that does make sense. I totally get that. And again, I have no problem with that. No problem at all. But when you're integrating it all into a Warzone, that's where I think you can run into the problems. But again, I'm not a Warzone guy. I don't play that game as much as others. I've heard the complaints, and so that would be my concern, is because Warzone's the thing that's really elevated Call of Duty to the heights it's at right now.
I think though even adding a third game into the mix won't just make Warzone weird. It'll really cannibalize the multiplayer modes, because now you've already got people who are playing Infinite Warfare still because they don't like Black Ops, and then people playing Black Ops because they want to play the new thing. If you add a new thing on top of that, like one of those pillars is gonna probably fall. So I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea for them to have this many balls up in the air that they're juggling, especially because there's a lot more multiplayer games out now than there was in, say, Modern Warfare 2 days, right?
That's why they did that integration thing, so you have the same level no matter if you're playing Modern Warfare, Cold War, or Warzone.
Mm-hmm. But the player base will be split, because it would be different if it was more like a Halo Master Chief Collection thing where you just launched Call of Duty and you'd be in a playlist where you could be in an Infinite War. Oh, sorry, I keep on saying Infinite Warfare because of Infinity Ward. Be in a Modern Warfare match, and then your next match you're playing Black Ops. But like that might be kind of jarring because they feel different, right? So.
Yeah. Ryan is dead, by the way. Steph, Ryan is dead.
Yeah,
he died on the third Mario Kart stream, so he's been dead for a long time.
I've just been a zombie for a long time.
I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't tell me.
I unironically have a dead body part.
Corey Timmons for $5. I want to hear Ryan defend Snyder Cut Batman using guns to kill aliens. By aliens, you mean parademons, I assume. Clearly, your knowledge is very up there. That's not Batman. Honestly,
killing the parademons. Why?
Yeah, if you're upset about him grabbing parademons technology and using them to save the world, there's something wrong with you. That's just the bottom line.
He flat out kills tons of people in BVS. Like that would be what I would go after if you're going to make the Batman doesn't kill people. Like argument at least.
See,
don't kill as many as Keaton.
I don't.
That's fair.
Christian Bale killed people too.
This is what I don't.
He literally threw fucking Harvey Dent off the fucking thing.
No, but like, I mean, this is what I
He
like.
put a car into fucking Talia al Ghul.
You guys are missing the worst thing that Bale did. And the fucking Batman Begins, he murdered all of those fucking guys because he didn't want to chop one guy's head off. So then he ended up killing that guy and every fucking body else too, because he blew the fucking place up. But he saved.
Except for Ra's al Ghul,
so, yeah. So it's like the whole thing is.
He didn't at the end.
I wasn't trying to make the argument. I was saying if you're going to make the Batman doesn't kill people a standard that has to hold to, honestly, the only thing that ever does it properly is like Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that was they were limited by it being animation.
I remember right. Go on.
No, I was going to say, as someone that just does not like that universe at all, like the two things that really like Superman killing Zod was never a problem for me. And Batman, like Batman killing isn't the problem. It's the way he kills in BVS is a lot of my issue. It's not the fact that he kills. Batman if you're giving a realistic take on Batman, he's going to have to fucking kill people. He's just going to have to. That's part of it. But the way he kills people, it can be your argument. But no issues with what happened in Justice League from that perspective.
I had a huge issue with Wonder Woman killing Roose Bolton for absolutely no reason. Like, that was ridiculous.
I agree. Yeah. Like that Wonder Woman, me and Lethal were talking about that. Like, I'm totally for like her fucking coming in there and kicking all those people's ass, fucking throwing them against the wall, that shit. At the end, there was literally no reason for her to
She let him reload. She just watched him reload after super speed blocking 30 rounds. And then he's reloading and she's just like, let's see how this pans out. It's like, oh, he's going to start shooting again? Boom. Area of effect attack that destroys half the building.
On the outside as well.
Like that. We're not even going to touch the debris falling on those cops. Probably gave at least one of them a concussion. But like she just vaporized the man for no reason at all and destroyed half the building when she easily could have just punched the guy. I'll rewrite the scene, but say they wanted the hat floating down and the building to explode. That was the thing that in the studio notes had to happen. Here's how you do that. Don't give him a rifle. Give him a detonator for the bomb that you don't have her deal with right before that. Do a Zack Snyder slow-mo thing of him pressing the button on the thing and give her no choice but to do that attack.
Yeah,
I don't know how they thought that scene would play well. And I've got tons of people defending it on Twitter too. It blows my mind.
Twitter? Really?
I don't think there's much defense for that scene. because it really was like the bomb may as well have fucking gone off at that point because it leveled that.
Well, I mean, they
building.
did say the bomb was going to be 4 city blocks.
4
so
city
the bomb
blocks,
would have
I
been
know.
worse, but it's like, why did she have to destroy the building though?
She didn't have to. I agree that was a little over the top. But as far as the Batman stuff, nah, I completely.
Yeah,
for
the record, while I'm making that argument against Wonder Woman, I also don't have an issue with Batman killing parademons. That's fine.
I like the Batman stuff in Justice League far more than I liked it in BVS. I mean, I know of the warehouse scene. Yeah, Ben Affleck's stunt double did a great job in that scene.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
He did.
Oh, that's
It was
Luke Skywalker walked in.
And I don't care who's in the suit.
Well, no, I mean the point is that it's just like it's so obvious that that's not Affleck. Like it's so fucking obvious that that's just not him.
Did you know that Henry Cavill didn't actually go to space? And
No,
that's
an odd take.
I understand that, but it's just like, Ben Affleck was the best Batman ever. That warehouse fight scene, that's literally the only thing anybody has, and he didn't do any of that. So it's like, how does that make him the best Batman? When
I'm not making the argument that he's the best
that.
Batman ever. I'm making the argument that scene was cool, and it doesn't really matter if it was a stunt double because he's wearing a mask. I mean, I guarantee you, most superhero films action scenes is probably a stunt double doing the craziest shit.
But no one else points to anything else that Affleck did that makes him great. They always just say the warehouse fight scene is why he's the best.
No, I think that's everyone's favorite. I think that's everyone's favorite probably moment in that is terms of action wise. Probably anything else, but I thought Affleck was great as an older Bruce Wayne who's sit there and watched his city crumble for the past 20 fucking years as he has done like everything he can and he continues to fucking fail. I thought he did it great. The intensity of Bruce Wayne as opposed to somebody else who may play him in a fucking little more like, I don't know, like George Clooney-esque way. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I dug Ben Affleck's entire vibe as Bruce Wayne.
I liked his
Clooney
performance.
Should have been American Psycho.
No, Gavin Newsom. Gavin
Bale was
Newsom.
the perfect American Psycho.
Gavin Newsom should be American Psycho.
All right, hold up. I got to go return some videotapes.
And then I think in this movie that we see, I think we also see a Bruce Wayne who is weighed down by the fucking guilt of what happened with Superman.
I think the ideas in BVS work far better than the reality of BVS. I hear people say, "Oh, well, this," and that's fine, but like Superman is so like dry in that movie. Like I never see his personality. He doesn't talk. He doesn't show real emotions. He never portrays himself as Superman. I don't see any of the personality. I understand the ideas that are being presented, and I think the ideas are good, but the execution of the ideas and the execution of the characters is my biggest problem with that, because I don't see Superman. I don't see Superman that I know, and that's my big problem with it. I get the ideas that Snyder's trying to, tell, and I do appreciate the ideas. The execution of them is my problem.
How did you like the final fight scene? When he shows up for Steppenwolf this way, vice the way it was in the original Justice League.
So I have definitely I like Justice League more than Man of Steel or BBS because I saw a better representation of Superman in Justice League than I did in BVS or Man of Steel, because I don't recognize that. It's Superman standing there watching his fucking dad die is the most retarded thing in the history of movies. But with that said,
I'm not going to
literally hadn't shown any.
I'm not going to defend that, but I hated Justice League.
5:30 in the morning.
Snyder's Justice League is superior to Joss Whedon's Justice League in every way possible, including the use of Superman.
Captain Marvel is better than Joss Whedon's Justice League. Like Joss Whedon's Justice League is honestly one of the worst comic book movies I have ever seen. It's up there with Halle Berry Catwoman.
I absolutely think it's a terrible movie, but my whole thing was I just wanted to see Superman. It resemble Superman, which I did in because I think Henry Cavill's a perfectly cast Superman.
Bruce Timmverse, I'm telling you, animated series, the definitive version of pretty much all these characters.
No, I understand that, but that doesn't apply to what we're talking about here. I hear that same argument. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're just talking about how was Snyder's version of Superman, and in my opinion, it's shit. I don't like his portrayal of these characters. I think it's dog shit. But Justice League was good. It was, and it was better than Joss Whedon's for sure. So I can't argue that point. As much as I wanted to hate Justice League, has nothing to do with the stream, nothing like that. Like I just wanted to be like, yeah, it's not. It's actually a really good movie. It really is.
I think it's okay.
Well, again, I'm talking about a low fucking bar here. Okay.
I personally, I would put both BVS and Man of Steel above even Snyder Cut. Way above Justice League, but I don't know. I thought Snyder Cut, it was definitely a lot better than Justice League. So I will say that much, but I think it's at most mediocre.
One thing we can say though, I'll say this about Justice League as well. The 4x3 works fucking beautifully, and I question the hell out of that, dude. Yeah. That is a beautiful fucking movie. My God, it's gorgeous.
It almost, in a weird way, it almost just like despite the fact you're not using the screen, it like focuses your attention completely on what's going on, and it works. It just does. You don't even notice it when you're watching the movie. You're just watching the movie.
The IMAX format is not something that people shoot an entire movie in very often, so it's kind of a shame that this didn't come out in theaters.
I've only seen Justice League once, Joss Whedon's. Am I remembering
enough for me?
Am I remember like the whole thing with Bruce and Aquaman and all of that in the beginning? That was not.
It's very different. Yeah,
it's very different from
like literally like shot like it just random in between shots of what you saw in the Snyder Cut. They just added random reshoots and it's like, can you at least take me to Atlantis? And then he slams them up and he's like, I hear you talk to fish. Like it was just very different. Just little things that got reshot. Imagine wasting like all that money, or like to get them back at this. To get them back in the fucking same outfits and get the crew back there just to record these little one-liner jokes that didn't do shit. And it having Ben Affleck gained 20 pounds between shots.
But like if you go back, let's forget about the fucked up Henry Cavill face in Justice League, because I mean it's obviously just it was a disaster. But like that opening sequence with the cell phone, you know, with all like that was Superman to me. Like that right there set a tone for me. So that's why I was like, okay. I like the track this is on, but yeah, Snyder's Justice League is a superior film in every way. Really
I think I believe in truth, and I'm a big fan of justice. Was one of the corniest things I've ever heard.
yeah, that's how he appeared. That's why I was asking about it, because in this one he just fucking zooms in and like, takes the axe to the shoulder. Not impressed like that.
That was good. That was good. That was good.
Like, I mean, but like I'm a big fan of Justice was him just meta referencing the title of the film, right? Because like they weren't called the Justice League at that point.
It's Truth, Justice, in the American way. I think that's what that meta was for.
That's and that's why it worked for me. Even if it was a cheesy. It brought me back to like Superman that I wanted to see. So, I mean,
look, let's not came back.
So
itchy. Shut the fuck up, Joss Whedon, you cuck. God, I hate Joss Whedon. But speaking of super chats, we got a lot of shit to get to. Carl Marlowe, you got a lot of traction out of that $5 super chat about Batman killing aliens. Corey. Cade Meadows for $10.
I see you says Jawa said, man, Jeremy really wanted his grandfather Superman. You know that's the same shit people say about Luke Skywalker. When the SJW say these people just want their grandfather's Luke Skywalker. No, I want Superman. That's who the fuck I want.
I always point out different universes.
Yes, thank you,
for me, at least, make it much more.
I understand that. I understand that. But that's that same argument about the Luke. And I understand that that's the same version. But ultimately, you want the characters respected in what they are. And Superman would never watch his fucking dad die. I'm sorry, he just wouldn't. Just fucking wouldn't. The point of Superman. The point of Superman's dad dying the way he dies with the heart attack is to show Superman that there are things he can't control. There are things he literally can't control.
Until he turns time back.
Well, no, I get that.
Well, that's why when people throw the Donner movies out there as defense, I'm like, yeah, those are kind of silly too. They're charming.
They are.
But like,
well, that's why I can't do like with Joss Whedon's cheesy one-liners. It's like, well, I mean, I can't hate on cheesy one-liners if I'm taking up for the Donner Superman for crying out loud. I like the Lois and Clark television series. That's the definition of cheese moments. So I don't have a problem with cheese.
Also, just to be clear, the whole Superman watched his dad die. He had never fucking shown. He had not flown. He had not shown super speed. He had not done any of that at that point. Literally, he was just fucking strong, and he shot fucking shit out of his eyes.
OG
That's
Superman
all they
has
knew
just
about
a
at that time.
Terrible.
Just so
Gene Hackman
everyone
performance, too.
understands in that moment. It wasn't like he could have gone fast enough to beat. No, he had never fucking done that before. So, I guess think about that when you think, oh, he should have just. The cameras wouldn't have seen him.
If anybody hasn't watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, though, for any reason, I think that if you like these movies, I can't see how you won't love this movie. And even if you didn't like them, I mean, look, I saw Yellow Flash liked it, like gave it like a 9 out of 10, and he hated BVS. I've even seen people that didn't like the previous movies that liked it as well. So it's really good. It's really good. I mean, Lethal, I think you didn't love it as much as you thought you would, right?
I thought BVS was better, and I'm a big Snyder guy.
Okay.
I'm on Lethal's page. I think honestly though, I'll say one thing though. Part of my lukewarm reaction to it, especially, I think, is as much as like we often will throw this in the face of people saying it's like our expectations that shut us down. But it actually was my expectation based on what the marketing for Snyder Cut was showing. Because when you hear a 2-hour film is being expanded out to a 4-hour film with $70 million of new footage being shot, I was sort of expecting a lot more of the movie to be focused on Darkseid and like the Nightmare Injustice
that's
stuff.
not what they didn't spend $70 on new footage being shot, Mark. They spent $70 million on visual effects for a 4-hour movie.
Okay, sure. I mean, I guess I didn't understand that properly. Then I'm saying, like, I'm saying the problem is subjectively me here. I'm not criticizing what they did, but I think that like when I was sitting there waiting for them to wrap up the Steppenwolf stuff and get onto the more interesting Darkseid stuff, and then it kind of happens at like the very end, and then there's like 4 minutes of Nightmare that's totally disconnected from the rest of the movie.
That's the new footage. That's the only thing
brand new footage. That was brand new footage.
I thought there was going to be more new stuff. So I think I was ultimately kind of disappointed that it was essentially the same story that was being told. And it was my mistake. I misunderstood that because of the fact that I knew how much budget was being put into giving Zack Snyder his vision, and the runtime was doubled. So I mean, it's not that crazy for me to have thought that. I think, especially because remember, my finger's not on the pulse of the Snyder stuff as much as you guys are. Like I knew it was happening. I heard some stuff, and that's pretty much it. I wasn't like reading every interview and going into depth on it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that if you're
speaking of video games.
Yeah.
Speaking of video games, here's some super chats. Fusion Evo for $2. I want a DOA beach volleyball movie adaptation.
Oh, I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it exists. I might know a guy.
The John Beck for $2. Joe Rogan inside the toaster is the worst background ever.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to
like the studio.
I want to give a shout out to Haley and Lucas, our newest premium members on geeksandgamers.com. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. We do appreciate it. Like I said, so Monday I'll be playing Mario Kart for our premium members, and then Tuesday I'll be playing Titanfall 2. Looking forward to it.
Pleb Gamer Aaron G for 125 Philippine. Chessboard Jeremy talking about that background. Yes. To Tim for $2. Aquaman is better than Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther isn't very good. Aquaman's not great either, to be honest with you.
I like both of those movies. I think I'd probably say Aquaman for sure. Of course, I gave Black Panther a good review and still got called a member of the KKK. So
shouldn't have virtue signal by saying it was good. It's not any good.
They just made Vibranium too powerful.
I liked it. I liked Black Panther.
Vibranium just kind of breaks the whole MCU universe the way they use it in that movie, though, because it can do anything. It's like it's multi-purpose magic material instead of just being metal.
I hate his fucking sister. I fucking hate his sister too. Like
the acting in it was fine.
In Infinity, no, I hate her as a character. Like in Infinity War, when they come there to ask for help, and she's like, "What? You guys didn't do this?" That's like I bypassed the compressor moment to me. Fuck her. Heath Nation for $2. Geeks and Gamers greater than woke, corrupt Rooster Teeth. Well, I would hope so. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Red versus Blue back in the first couple seasons, at least.
Emperor J Bama fan for $5. Jeremy, we are not 100% in agreement, but there will always be one thing we agree on. Roll Tide. And fuck Zack Snyder. I stand with Geeks and Gamers.
Well, Roll Tide. And again, whatever your opinion on the whole Snyder thing is, it's fine. At the end of the day, Hollywood people, they don't like us. They're not allowed to like us, even if they want to like us. It's just that's how it is. It's not surprising. We kind of flew too close to the sun. We got burnt. And we'll learn from it. But it has no effect on how I view Zack Snyder's movies, because Zack Snyder's movies have no identity politics, at least from what I can see. And that's really my big focus right now. Fuck you and your virtue signaling when it comes to our, movies and things like that. And that's one thing that I really did enjoy about Zack Snyder's Justice League is I didn't see identity politics, just like I didn't see it in BVS or Man of Steel. And that's one thing that's really what it comes down to for me. So, but thank you for your support. We do appreciate it for sure. And we're going to keep moving forward.
King Jafar, ruler of Zamunda. God, I don't know how to fucking say this shit. For 2 big super chats for $27.99. There are discrepancies regarding when and where Jafar was born, but most biographical sources hold that he was born May 17th, 1928, near Kampala, the capital city of the Central African nation of Zamunda. And then for another $14, furthermore, there is nothing known about his parents except they were members of the Jafar ethnic group. The Jafar tribe is a Nguni tribe closely related to the Zulus and the Wakandans. Is that true?
This is Marvel stuff. I was like, I have no idea what this is referring to at all. Like,
I don't know. Sierra Whiskey for $5. A yearly COD drop can work if each new title drops a new map in Warzone that follows their title. That's Coming to America, right? Like that's who that is.
Yes, that's
right?
Coming to America.
I don't know why he slipped in the Wakanda part at the end.
No,
that part doesn't make any sense to me.
And I haven't seen Coming to America since I was a little kid. Yeah.
That's James Earl Jones's character, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I said before. He can buy Wakanda, get it? Because,
Yeah, that's fucking
That
rich.
shit was great, man. That shit was great.
I probably last saw Coming to America when I was like 8, maybe, probably younger. So I don't know. I'll take the L on that one. I'm just ignorant.
It's just about
that
the
was good.
MCU.
Well, I mean, he threw Wakanda in there, so I know Wakanda's not a real place. That was the only thing that was making any sense to me.
Wait a minute. It's not?
That's not what all the
Not
people
taking the bait
dancing
on
and
that one,
celebrating during Black
Yeah.
Panther were telling me.
Kind
Wakanda forever.
I thought Wakanda was real.
It's real if you want. it to be, I
LeBron
suppose.
James told me it was real.
He also said his children are being hunted in the streets. So, Sierra Whiskey, again, I'll read that one again for $5. A yearly Call of Duty drop can work if each new title drops a new map in Warzone that follows their title. Yeah.
Probably splits the player base though. Leaves
Heath
with quite a
Nation for
multiplayer.
2. Heath Nation greater than Zamunda Nation. Thank you, Heath Nation. Melissa Lord for 5. Hey, Jeremy, Mark Lethal, and my EU buddy Ryan. Y'all, what will the next Star Wars game be? Will it be like Fallen Order, which is dope? Jeremy, what's your favorite Zelda game?
This is my favorite Zelda character right here.
Shut the fuck up. Why?
The president is constantly lying. It's conspiracy theories every day. It's getting worse.
Oh no!
Does that have to do with anything?
I don't think I ever
don't
want
know,
to see
it's
anything
just-
like that again.
That's just
He
You
stole
found
his
a way to
scarf.
make Brian
He took it.
Stelter creepier.
anyway. Anyway, A Link to the Past is from the Super Nintendo. Is my favorite, but Breath of the Wild
Oh,
is.
yeah.
I need to replay Breath of the Wild completely, but yeah, A Link to the Past, old school SNES.
There you go.
Chat's going crazy.
Yeah. Mickey D's for $5. Jeremy, in the post Snyder stream, you said you were green in an area. I work in that area. Where can I send my info to elaborate? I'd love to help.
What now?
In the post Snyder stream, you said you were green in an area. I work in that area. Where can I send my info to elaborate? Maybe something that you were trying to.
Jeremy at geeksandgamers.com. And just so you know, all those emails forwarded to Krista at geeksandgamers.com email, because I just could not handle the amount of emails I was getting. It was insane. So I was like, I need you to handle this and then filter through what needs to come to me, because I cannot deal with it anymore. So that'll go to her, and then she'll forward it over to me.
King Jaffe, ruler of Zamunda, for $3. Adam West is Batman.
No.
Adam West is Batman.
He certainly played Batman one time.
Mike Trout,
It's not a
brain
lie.
power. For $5. Confirmation: my man Mark the Cyborg originates from a different Earth in the multiverse, where BVS wasn't super cringe. The only way BVS better than the Snyder Cut.
I think if you want to make the argument that Snyder Cut is a good movie and BVS is a bad movie, that argument is gonna have tons of inconsistency.
They're very connected.
Like, I mean, I don't
very
know. I'm
connected.
like, you can like whichever one you like more. Personally, I like BVS more. I don't think either of them are like objectively good movies, though. I think that, I don't know. BVS kind of had more stuff that I was interested in watching. Personally,
It 100% is a continuation of the story. Vice, what was clearly a separation, and try to do this other thing. That's kind of what they've done since then. It's like, yeah,
same actors, same tone. Like, I didn't think there was really much different about Snyder Cut to BVS or Man of Steel for that matter.
I thought that Justice League felt a little bit lighter in tone than BVS from a character standpoint, from the character interaction. Again, you can have dark moments, but I'm talking about the character interactions and the characters feeling connected. Again, you're talking about Batman and Superman, and I don't like the fact that we got the death of Superman without having any of the weight of how that impacted the Justice League, and it just felt forced into how Batman took Superman's death when you spent the whole movie trying to kill him in the first fucking place.
Yeah,
it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. It felt forced. It felt like, well, Batman has to feel bad because they have to team up, but it just didn't feel good in terms of the path to get there. In the rage that Batman had. Again, the ideas, I understand the ideas that were meant to be there to get us there, but the process did not work for me. It felt completely just thrown together. Whereas in Justice League, and maybe it's the 4-hour runtime, but in Justice League, that things just felt like they were having their time to work out and breathe and develop more on a level that it felt natural, if that makes sense. So that's why it works better for me.
Yeah. It's not as condensed for sure. Where the fuck was I? Mike Hill for $5. Snyder Cut changes the fight scene with Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Batman v Superman. Yeah, like I think that was interesting too, because that was one of people's favorite parts from Joss Whedon's version, was that fight against Superman. It was obviously all filmed by Zack Snyder with some different things put in there. I like the fact that you still have the part where Flash is going fast and Superman's still able to actually move. So he's not that fast, obviously. He's still kind of in slow-mo compared to Flash. But without the tell me, do you bleed? With his fucking weird-ass fucking mustache face. And Batman being like, somebody's definitely bleeding.
Christopher, I know Ryan has read some of the Streamlabs. I don't know if
I gotta get to him, man. I gotta get
we should dismiss Lethal because I think he might be falling asleep.
Dude, Lethal, if you gotta go though, because it's like I don't know what time it is in that.
6
I'm gonna go in like 10 minutes, I reckon.
All right.
Okay. All right. Whenever you need to bounce, man.
I just wanted to give him an out, so he didn't have to feel
an
bad.
out. He wanted to give you an out.
All right, Gaming or What? TM for $5. Thank you, Gaming or What? Biggles for $5. Would Ghost movie based off Legends change your mind, Lethal?
Probably not, because that's all. It's not really the Ghost of Tsushima, then, is it?
I'd probably prefer that, to be honest.
I think I'd prefer it, but I'd still be very skeptical.
Especially if it was just different legends, like the ones that weren't in the multiplayer mode. It's just still the same dude telling other stories. I'd be up for that.
The Ghost.
Sam Spade for $5 says Neil canceled Jeremy, son of Soy L. Thanks, Sam. Mikey for $5. You see the 1-minute clip of Lord of the Rings Gollum game? Not much was shown, but it looks like a stealth game. Comes out in 2022. What are your thoughts?
I never thought that was going to be good for even a split second, and that footage didn't change my opinion on it.
I haven't seen it.
I'll tell you what, for a PS3 game, it looks okay, I guess.
Yellow Flash is here. Yellow Flash's daily reminder for $5. Mark the Cyborg has the worst Terminator takes.
I mean, the same takes that Lethal has. So why am I being singled out?
Okay, well, first of all, he gives Lethal enough harassment on Twitter as it is, so I think he's just giving him a break.
All right.
Because Yellow Flash is a very, very, very nice and respectful human. I don't know if anyone knows that, but he's a really, really respectable person.
He is my favorite Walmart employee of all time.
Look at the top. Look at the top comment on this. I've always wanted to see Mordor through the eyes of a meth addict. Top comment.
This looks terrible.
I can't wait to play the part where he's tortured and you have to mash X to stay alive.
This seems like the kind of thing that would be pitched when, like, the third Lord of the Rings movie was on its way out, and everything that Warner Brothers was doing was because it's Warner Brothers, right? That has Lord of the Rings. New Line Cinema. Yeah. Everything New Line Cinema was doing with game developers was just like, what else can we put out?
It's WBI.
Gollum. It's like a stealth game. Perfect. Make it. Like it sounds like that kind of thing.
Let's watch
Lego Lord of the Rings. Let's do that too. Why not?
I haven't seen it yet.
Harry Potter Lord of the Rings. Fuck it.
Oh my god.
It mustn't see us.
How fucking bad is that?
No, don't look at us. The precious is gone.
What the fuck?
That looks fucking bad.
I have less than zero interest.
I mean, I want to be interested in it because I love Lord of the Rings, but this looks fucking bad. I mean, it's seriously, I think unless you're saying that this is coming exclusively to the Nintendo Wii, I don't know how that looks good because that looks bad. Wow.
Yellow Flash says it looks fun.
No, for a PS3 game, like Lethal said.
Towards the end, it shows it's not the eye of Sauron, but it's something similar.
Is this like, so is this the part that we know it just takes place during the movies when he gets tortured and tells him about the ring?
Fuck, I don't know. But play it a bit more, you'll see what I'm talking about. It flashes real quickly, like scratched into the wall.
Where? Oh,
that.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, again, like, sometimes you never know from a trailer. Like, for all we know, this could end up being totally awesome. But,
it flashes.
I know.
Fuck.
There's an eye on the wall. Oh my god.
It doesn't look interesting to me.
It doesn't look that good.
I'd honestly prefer a re-release of the Two Towers and Return of the King, like kind of character action, sort of multiplayer Devil May Cry style games they made. Those were actually pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully that shit's like $30. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Where did we go? Mark the Cryborg for $5. Why do Twitter weirdos always demand a voice actor play the live action version? Examples: Ahsoka
Because he's
Tano
a facial capture actor, you fucking idiot. It's actually his face. It's not just his voice.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say that, but yeah, Mark beat me to it. Yeah, so Ahsoka Tano, Disney Universe, and Jin Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, so Jin Sakai not only does a voice, but is, like Mark said, the motion capture person.
Ahsoka Tano is a voice actor. You would be right on that one. You would be very wrong, and also still a fucking idiot making the equivalence between those two because they're different things.
I like this, Mark.
Yeah, dumb motherfucker.
Yeah,
call him a dumb motherfucker, Mark.
Do it.
Yeah.
Insult me and I get angry.
Wicked Plumber becomes a channel member. Thank you, Wicked Plumber. King Jaffe Jaffer, ruler of Zamunda, for $7. How much lice could a lowland lion lick if a lowland lion could lick lice?
Mark will call you a dumb motherfucker.
Yellow,
if you deserve it.
there's Yellow Flash and his Mark Terminator take. And then King Jaffe Jaffer, ruler of Zamunda, for $7. Damn you, Yellow Flash. You had to step on the toes of a king by jumping the super chat line. All right. Now let me catch up with Streamlabs.
That's what Yellow Flash does. Always in here flexing.
Butter Biscuit for $2. Sent 2 hours ago. Sorry, Butter Biscuit. Screw you, Ryan, you racist bigot. Interrupting Gary reading my donation last night. Now I see how you've radicalized so many. I disassociate myself from Geeks and Gamers. I'll call you Reniqua. Ghetto name for your transition. Love you guys. Thank you. I can Alice for $5 for Ryan's sex change fund. Thank you. Post Otaku Lips. For $3. I think Ghost of Tsushima would have been better if it was given to a Japanese episodic live drama team instead of a movie, to be honest. I agree. I think more would be better there.
What would be a little strange about that is that the game was made in English. So, like, if the movie was then made in Japanese, that would, I don't know. It's a little bit strange because while it is a game that's set in Japan, I actually have that was why I accidentally deleted my save file, because the lip syncing in Japanese in Ghost of Tsushima looks terrible because they don't map it to the Japanese voice. It's just the English lip syncing with the Japanese voiceover over top of it. So
there were a lot of people that really upset about that. Chris Arcella for $3. Hail Geeks and Gamers. 2 things. Is there a park hopping stream today? No. Nope. I ask because Jay's streaming at 5 p.m. Eastern. Also, Jeremy, seems from Friday Night Tights anime is blowing up to you. I told you since New York Comic Con to get rolling on anime. You need to listen to me more often, lol.
Yeah, I mean, anime's just, it's been a big thing in our forums, and it's just got to be a thing where there's a time and a place, and we have so many moving parts, so we can't just get involved in something just for the sake of getting involved in it. It's got to be something that there's enough people on the team, enough interest from a team perspective, and then we can put the resources behind it. So it's not as simple as just snapping our fingers and just going, oh, let's just do this. There's a lot of moving parts that go along with it. So now seems like a good time to kind of roll that out for premium, and then we kind of see how that works out, and then we'll take a month or two to see how that works for premium, and then we'll eventually consider putting that on the main channel a few days later. So we'll see how it all works out.
Chris Arcella for $1 about the Ghost of Tsushima live action movie. $50. Then hire Tom Cruise for lead role. Well, he could do The Last Samurai.
Tom Cruise is not the last samurai in that film. Ken Watanabe was. That's the thing that a lot of people get wrong.
Yeah, but I do love that movie. That is a great movie.
Yeah, it is too. It gets shit on so often because of the poster.
Hey,
the poster says Tom Cruise, the last samurai.
All of us in this call, except for the loser, are watching Attack on Titan. So Ryan is the loser. Everyone else has seen it. I am episode 6, season 4 right now. I think I'm
And if you want us to do an anime podcast, half of the people on this call have an anime podcast on my channel where we talk about Attack on Titan.
There you go.
Ryan's horrible pompadour for $5. Comb me, you asshole. Thank you for the money. Chris Arcella for $1. You soundproofed background may have been really bad, but hey, Jeremy, at least look on the bright side. At least it wasn't Ben level of background. So bad, even the poster wants you to get away from his wall.
That was pretty funny. That was good.
That fell down.
Yeah, that was good on the Call of Duty stream Wednesday.
He was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, follow us on Twitch for our gaming stuff. We do a Call of Duty stream on Wednesday, a Mario Kart stream on Sunday, and never know what else we're going to start doing.
Thank you, Nigerian Prince Jeremy. Yes, I agree. Simon for $3. What do you think of the scene between Batman and Jared Leto's Joker? I thought it was the best I've seen Jared Leto as Joker. I do think it's the best I've seen Jared Leto as Joker. I still hate him, like his laugh.
I hated it. The scene was cool. I didn't like him. I liked him better in Suicide Squad than in that scene. Just did not like him. The laugh and the way he was talking felt like it was trying to be Heath Ledger's Joker. it felt like he was trying to be Heath Ledger's Joker in that scene.
The laugh reminded me nothing of that at all in any way, shape, and form.
The
and
laugh reminded me of a seabird.
Yeah, the laugh was weird. I did not like this laugh. I did really like the scene though. I love because
The scene was cool.
Yeah, and the reason that was added in was because like Snyder was like, listen,
They did us
considering
both dirty.
well, he's like, listen, there was supposed to be a lot more play out in this universe, and that's likely not going to happen. And it would have been a shame if they never got Ben Affleck and Jared Leto's Joker like together at least once. And obviously, they're referencing a lot of history that they have, which I think is interesting. But yeah,
They share a shot in that kind of like prologue scene in Suicide Squad.
Correct. They don't interact though. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They Batman like lands on the fucking car, and I think Joker like jumps out, and Harley goes in the fucking like Lamborghini, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Batman goes and saves her. So
Suicide Squad was the other one that I only saw once and was like, I'm good.
Cooking with Ruthie for 5. Jeremy, check out Stephanie's Twitter page.
Okay, Mark the Cryborg says, Jeremy, are you really like 41 like IMDb says? Go Bruins. Yeah, that's the one thing they got right. And also, I don't know if it says I'm 5'1" or not, but I hope it does.
I think everyone just told you that. I didn't see that on there.
I'm not going to get pissed at that one because I only get angry if it's an insult to me and then a terrible take.
Emperor J Bama fan for $5. I drunk and can still expose Raylo stupidity. Hashtag Geeks and Gamers is great. Roll Tide. Thank you,
Roll
Emperor
Tide,
man.
Roll Tide. There we go.
What is this?
I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea.
Oh, you're
It's from The Office?
That's from The Office when Kevin. Oh, she asked people to post memes of you.
Abby.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's
a lot of memes all from that one face. When did you make that?
I have no idea. No telling.
All right. Now, Mark, you watched an Xbox presentation with some indie games, right?
Yes.
What are the couple indie games you thought really came out of there that people should know about?
I gotta bring up the titles again just so I don't get them wrong. One of them was by Drinkbox Studio, who made Guacamelee and Severed. If you guys have ever played those games, they're actually like super solid games, like indie kind of. Guacamelee is like kind of a Metroidvania type game, and Severed was a PlayStation Vita game where you attack with the touchscreen. It was like a first-person dungeon crawler, but it was like far better than it had any right to be. And I think they re-released it on iOS and Android, so you can still play it. I would really recommend it too. It's quite good. And their new game is called Nobody Saves the World, where you play as a character that almost seems like a Kirby type thing, where you can like assume different identities. It gives them different powers, and it's like a top-down Zelda dungeon crawler type game. And the other one that looked really good was by a developer who made a game that I really like called Titan Souls, which is also like a top-down type Zelda game where you had one arrow that you could shoot and then recall to fight. It was like a boss rush game, also a great game. But they have a game called Death's Door that, again, is like kind of a top-down dungeon crawler that seemed really good. The visual style in it's great. So I would recommend just looking at the ID of Xbox Indie Showcase if you want to see those trailers. They also showed a trailer for the new Among Us level. So if you like Among Us, there you go. There's going to be an airship.
Nice. More Among Us content. I like it. Lethal, before you fall asleep, what have you been playing this week?
Nier Automata and Call of Duty. That's it. Basic bitch week.
Mark, what have you been playing? I could check your Steam, I guess. But...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only to see the games that I played on Steam. But I finished the Doom Eternal Ancient Gods Part 2, Part 1 and 2. I think I wasn't finished Part 1 by last week, but finished all the Doom Eternal DLC. It was really good for the most part, but 2 was a big step down in difficulty over the first one, so it kind of felt like a bit of a cakewalk, and we were talking a bit about the final boss essentially just being like a more complicated marauder. I might make a video on it. I don't know exactly. I'll see how burnt out I am after this God of War thing that I'm hoping to have done by... maybe by Monday. I also played the demo for Ultra Kill, which is a really, really solid indie first-person shooter that I recommend everybody play. And I guess just various God of War footage games. Like I played a bit of Ghost of Tsushima for it, played some Uncharted, and just for little cutaways in my video.
Nice.
And that's about it.
Jeremy, what have you been
On
playing?
Subverse.
Titanfall 2, Titanfall 2, Titanfall 2, Titanfall 2, and Titanfall 2. That's what I've been playing.
Nice.
So,
You played enough times, you might get Titanfall 3.
One day. But yes, Titanfall. We'll be uploading that to premium members a little bit later today. You'll be getting your email, put it in the Geeks Gamers Discord for the premium members and on the Facebook group. So look out for that. Other than that, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Join our Discord if you have not, and go over to geeksgamers.com and make yourself an account, and then consider becoming a premium member for $10 minimum a month.
Why does everyone hate my accent?
Say it again. You said Automata.
Yeah.
I say Automata, but I don't know.
Automata.
I don't play the game, so I don't know if they say it all in there.
I don't think they do say it in the game. I say Automata because it's like I guess a reference to automaton. So, and that's how I would pronounce that. I wouldn't say automaton.
Automata.
Automaton sounds like it's tough to say.
Automata.
Discord link is in the description for people wanting to join Discord. It's in the description.
Melissa Lord for $2. Say it, Jeremy. Go Gators. Roll Tide into a ditch.
Never gonna say that. Nope. We'll say Roll Tide. So thank you for the support, Melissa. Ready for football season. Ryan, go to Gary's Discord.
Yeah, Ryan, go to Gary's Discord on a Friday night. Type memes to see Soy Boy Nintendo fanboy Jeremy meme I made. I'll have to check it out. I am a member of Gary's Discord.
So Krista set up Gary's Nerdrotic Discord. So you guys will be able to find that. I don't know where a link is for that, but I'm sure the mods will be able to hook you up. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff. So make sure you support us. Thank you all. This has been an awesome stream. Ryan is dying. So F's in the chat for Ryan. This might be the last time you see him on a stream.
Michael for $5. Since John Wick director is doing Ghost of Tsushima movie, then he should get Keanu Reeves as the samurai. That'd be hilarious as fuck, actually. All right. Thank you guys for being here. We are going to call it after that because I'm fucking tired. I need to lay down for a little bit and get a drink. But Mark, Lethal, Jeremy, thank you as always. We'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.